We're just gonna keep silent.
So that's probably the most appropriate way to start our live stream, because well, it's not even the worst thing we've shown on our streams ever. Because hello and welcome to our very special episode of anti-SJW Gangbang. Today is the end of the world special. I really hope that this end of the world is going to be much better than the previous ones. The previous ones sucked. And since it's supposed to be like rapture, so all the righteous ones are supposed to be raptured. So looting.
What if the rapture does happen today, but nobody qualified, so nothing happens?
Last time in 2012, it's better happen because last time my neighbor is still not forgiving me.
So why is there a rupture?
Well, it's
someone
probably who, how there's people with certain tendencies to search for patterns where there are none. They just read the Bible and find out, oh, well, it says this, and if you just change the word order and take every 15th letter and then convert it to code and then rearrange it, and you'll see that it says that this date is going to be the end of the world, and well, when the drugs wear off, it's not as obvious as it was before.
Oh, so it's not Korea going to launch their nukes? It's just
it's supposed to be the biblical end of the world, the rapture.
Aww.
When the nukes fall, well, maybe some people go up, but it's not that kind of ascension. Yes, well. Probably.
Yeah, they've been predicting the end of the earth for years, so
Oh yeah, and speaking of end of the world, apparently Spino said that they should remove FaceApp because now the cursed image.
Changing the race or whatever.
No, changing race that was before. Now it changed gender, and it's like. I don't see any difference between normal him. It's just the hair.
I'm not a looker myself, but let's not show Spino's face, please.
Okay.
No.
I loved that that meme you made. Hellfire.
By the way, I wasn't paying attention to Spino lately. I was more preoccupied with Cock of Dusty. He has been posting stupid shit.
Yeah.
What's he been up to? Yeah, but a friend of mine said he was picking a fight with him on Twitter.
Well, I always pick up fights with somebody.
He's saying stupid shit.
It's not my fault that he says stupid shit. Because, this guy is a stalker. He just trolls me all the time on Twitter. Well, Dusty, if you stop posting stupid shit, I will stop trolling. Besides, pointing out that Dusty is a blatant racist is not trolling. Because, we all love edgy humor, but when he pretty much, his humor is saying, well, I'm not a racist, but maybe Jews deserve the Holocaust.
Yeah, like, fuck, man.
That's racist, but even if it's a joke, it's like, yeah, you're going to feel very racist.
There's no punchline there.
I'm not racist, but white people are superior to everybody, yeah.
Just like...
he
is from the South.
I've subbed to the privileged shitlord because you need some subs.
Oh, by the way, it looks like I've been booted from anti-SJW with blackjack and hookers on Facebook. Because other groups.
Yeah, I actually had somebody questioning my legitimacy or whatever else because of me, because I had posted in there before.
Several people are talking at the same time, and it's I can't hear anyone.
Somebody's breaking up.
Well, it's probably Genghis Khan Pepe. Yeah, Serbian internet is not very good.
Let's call him Pepe Khan.
Yeah. Look, the funny part is that our country has a lot of flaws, but at least we have pretty decent internet. I pay like 13 euros a month for 100 megabit.
Oh my god, I just realized. What do you say? What was the best slogan we have ever heard in the Mongolian election? Yes, we can.
Khan! Oh!
That's also in Star Trek.
Yeah, see, the best slogan that will get anybody elected is "At least I'm not Justin Trudeau."
Well, the Conservative Party of Canada, they took a picture of Justin Trudeau on a unicycle, and guess what the caption they added? Here comes the Adept Boy.
Oh,
That was actually very
Trudeau
clever.
is the worst. I mean, my God, this is a guy who says policies are justified because it's the current year. Oy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
I
it
could-
Yeah,
was
I'm like,
okay
yeah,
to
it's-
gas the Jews because it was 1934.
Anything is valid is the current year.
I got a friend of mine linked something to me, which is it's gay porn, and it's Justin Trudeau's printed out face onto the guy who's being fucked, anally gangbanged, and pig roasted, with a Justin Trudeau like mask.
It's like, oh yeah, the policies are justified by their year. But Mr. Hitler, why did you gas the Jews? Because it was 1939.
Oh no, I remember the Doms were like dressed up as, I think it was supposed to be ISIS, but it was in a different language, so.
Oh jeez, man.
It's not even that far-fetched at this time. I mean,
It isn't.
so
That is not really that far-fetched. That's really sad.
Hello,
Well-
2020.
What is that?
Well, I mean, not to mention also there's all the migrants that are, quote, 12 years old.
Oh, I know that facial recognition had them pegged at anywhere from like 28 to 35.
Yeah, exactly. Absolute nonsense.
Well, anyways, so today is kind of slow day. We don't have a lot of viewers, but well, let's get right into the news, and by news.
Fuck! I know the best song you could have started today, since it's supposed to be the end of the world, as we know it. It's the end of the world.
I don't know.
Yeah, but YouTube's been fucked up lately. It'd be like the copyright strike as we know it.
True. True.
It's the DMCA as we know it. Okay, so well, let's get.
It's the DMCA as we know it.
By the way,
I'm
speaking
actually surprised that like us saying the title of the song is not in and of itself a copyright strike.
I'm not that good of a singer.
But by the way, speaking of DMCA, a friend of mine who has a channel called Mr. Problematic has a song about false DMCAs. You can listen to that. I've played it already on the stream, but it was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hit them
Alright,
with the
go for it.
DMCA.
It's to the tune of YMCA by the Village People. You know, their most famous song.
I know you're a human suck. I said, Finbots, I know you don't give a fuck about research because reality sucks. It's just full of the patriarchy. This man keeps on arguing with you. I said, this man keeps mansplaining to you. He has hard facts Back with evidence too. There's no way that you can win this unless you hit him with the DMCA. Hit him with the false DMCA play. YouTube has everything that a woman needs to bring a channel to its knees. Hit him with the false DMCA. Hit him with the false DMCA play. If he makes you mad with inconvenient facts, you can't silence it just like that. Liberal, are you not having fun? I said liberal. Triggered by Donald Trump, I said liberal. Are you down in the dumps that you lost the entire country? Liberal. Down, I said liberal. Put that razor blade down. Stop crying before we all drown and take a stand against the fake news. Right. Go and hit him with the DMCA. Hit him with the false DMCA claim. Trump will still be cracking. There's nothing you can do, but it would feel so good for you to go and hit him with the DMCA. Hit him with the false DMCA claim. With your impotent rage and your fragile TVs and your Twitter PTSD. Beta, do my songs make you mad? I said beta. Do they make you feel bad? I said beta. Are you triggered and sad that I am so fucking awesome? Beta, you can't be awesome like me. I said beta. Looking at me, your girlfriend keeps looking at me. There's no doubt that I could fuck her. You'll have to hit me with the DMCA. Gonna hit me with the DMCA thing. 'Cause I have everything for your girl to enjoy, and you have to use that toy. You better hit me with the DMCA. Gotta hit me with that DMCA thing. Because I won't pull out when I'm done, you bitch, and you'll be stuck raising my kid. Better hit me with the DMCA.
Oh, I miss Miss Maple.
DMCA, yeah. You kick your beats, get on your knees, and fucking bow to me. DMCA, motherfucker.
Okay, that was actually really clever. What's the name of that channel?
Mr. Problematic.
Mr.
Problematic.
There's a lot of really interesting tunes.
Oh, there's this guy that I watch, Pure Carbon.
Oh,
He
I know him.
so he was talking about free speech, and then it's an entire video of him photoshopping Muhammad into kind of like a pig hybrid, and
oh my god.
and there's letters, and there's
That
right
video is double haram.
well, there's writing that says it says a pedophile, child marriage, murderer, all that stuff, and like he did it so small that you really have to look to be able to see it, but it literally covers the entire page. It's so fucking clever.
Yeah, just subscribe to that channel because that video is funny. And well done.
I shared this link to the channel in the chat. By the way, this is why I don't post on Facebook anymore. Because, you can't have fun.
Fuck!
Oh my god.
Fuck
I
you,
mean, it's like,
Facebook.
okay, yeah, it's not exactly in like, you know, the best taste, but it's legal.
No, nobody got zucked for original picture, the one which said "boys are stupid, throw rocks at them." Apparently,
Muslim.
it's okay to throw rocks at boys unless they are Muslims, I guess.
What a lot of dog shit right there. That's a steaming load of shit.
Well, it's, some. By the way, some of the stuff that I got zucked for is pretty strange. For example, I'm convinced that Facebook moderators are actual Nazis because well, I got zucked for this. It's like when I make fun of their holy prophet, they just zuck me. I mean,
Jeez.
don't like blasphemers like me. Or, for example, this got me zucked also. Don't make fun of Adolf Hitler, or they will zuck you.
Don't you wish your boyfriend was like me?
And well, I mean, I'm just saying.
That one. That one would definitely get zucked.
Oh my god, it's well done.
And by the way, I posted in this group. There was this group really cool at some point. It was called GMO LOL, where made fun of those anti-GMO fanatics. But now it's all around with SJWs. I posted it there in the comments, and someone reported me.
Infiltrators.
Yeah, but like no one uses Facebook anymore. Don't worry about it.
Well, I have a lot of people there on Facebook, and the problem is that Facebook throttles the views. So when I posted that, I often post that. Well, if you want to contact me, I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitter, I'm there, and still a lot of people don't see those posts because Facebook doesn't show all the posts by your friends, just some of them which are deemed worthy by the algorithm. So still a lot of people don't know about my whereabouts, and when I occasionally post something, they're like, "Oh, I thought you were like zucked or something. I haven't heard from you in a while." So thanks, Zuckerberg. Your algorithm. This is why. By the way, this is why I have almost 2,000 people on Facebook, friends, but don't even have 1,000 subscribers because a lot of them probably don't even see my videos posted there, so they don't probably even know that I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, well, I kind of just gave up on Facebook already. Like the only reason why I still have one is literally because I have a couple of friends who don't use the internet almost at all, and the only way I can contact them is either through by phone number, text, or Messenger. You need Facebook for Messenger.
Well, Facebook Messenger is kind of shit.
I'm actually surprised.
They're literally like they literally just don't want to do anything.
I'm actually surprised that my Facebook page hasn't gotten reported because like all my tweets go to my Facebook posts. So I might actually have to.
Don't use Facebook that much. That's why I'm not too bothered if I do concurrent state that I'm gonna get fired by my boss. I don't even list my work where I work anywhere.
Yeah, it's a good thing not to list a lot of personal details.
Yeah, I mean, I got my name attached to my channel. That's as far as I'm gonna go. I don't like where I work. You ask me where I work? Fuck you, not telling.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm glad. It's like I'm on disability first off, but it's like so like they can't affect my job. My landlord does not give a shit about my politics. They just care about if the rent's in on time. Knows I'm an asshole. My mom knows I'm an asshole. My mother-in-law knows I'm an asshole. There's really not anything that they could do to me.
This got zucked, by the way, for some reason.
Picture.
Well, maybe it got zucked just for being fucking ugly.
This is what we need.
And if they gave me that reasoning, is like, yeah, okay, I see it. I know.
We can't have this.
I understand.
Yeah, but my real life job actually can't fire me if I'm doing stuff outside of work hours.
Well, any work, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Even if my boss knew, I don't think he would fire me because I work nights where I meet like 3 person per week.
Yeah. Well, it's actually illegal. At least here, I think it's actually illegal to fire anybody who hasn't done anything. If they've done anything that isn't illegal outside of work, you should not get that is illegal to fire someone for
Yeah, but they can always that's a law that's meaningless though, because they can say, oh, it was about something, or they could basically you can make a mistake on the job that they otherwise would have just overlooked, but because that you pissed them off with something you said online, they'll fire you.
I mean, yeah, but there's some security there at
I
least.
think there's one guy. I don't remember which one.
You have to go through many disciplinaries and all that stuff, and I haven't even got a single one. They can't fire you if there's nothing.
Yeah, there's the guy that was what's his name?
Yeah.
I don't remember. The guy was basically almost, I think, a neo-Nazi, and he was putting his swastika in his room window, and people were scaling the building to break the window and shit and everything, and they're not pinning it on him because, well, it's not. Basically, it's the people that are whiny assholes, but. Since apparently the guy has probably mental problems, and he has thrown a noise. He's thrown a TV down the stairs.
Jesus.
So it's like, yeah, he probably should have done. He should have been IRL zucked for a long time ago, but they overlooked it because it probably was mental. But now they're just like, oh yeah, we can basically kick you out because of this. Well, they never did before.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're at work, yeah, you've never had disciplinaries, and the thing is, you can't fire someone if they haven't done anything illegal and they don't have and they only had one disciplinary throughout the year or something. That is illegal. You have to have a certain amount, and I haven't even got any, and I haven't done anything illegal. So literally, if they fire me because of political opinions, it is illegal, and I can actually take them to court for that. I probably would.
Then either way, it's in current political climate. It's good thing not to list your work, or maybe even use fake names on social media, especially for the accounts for shitposting. So some people do this. They have their normal social media account where they have all the family and the normie friends, and they also have a shitposting account with the fake name and fake profile picture where they just can be themselves. Because Zuck book requires you to use your real name, and it kind of sucks for people like me with the names which a lot of people think that they are fake. Because if I myself, someone like Jonathan Watts or something, nobody would think that it's a fake name, but when I use my real name, a lot of people think that it's obviously a fake name. I was reported. It's funny that a lot of people thought that it's a fake name, but when I got reported for that, it's usually the far leftists who do that, and some of them. One of them, I saw the comment. Well, someone linked to the really fake news article, so I said, "Well, it's fake news," and provided link rebutting this. And this guy's response was, "Oh, I think you are a fake person or fake human or something." Well, I decided, since you're like a SJW retard, well, let's give you the taste of your own medicine. So if my name doesn't sound Anglo-Saxon enough, you think I'm fake? Well, fuck you, something like that. Because I almost wanted to tell him to check his first world privilege, but thought it would be a bit too much. So I decided to just call him a racist. Just kind of, if you see the name that it's not racist. I think the better term would be colonialist, because they think
cosmopolitan bias.
It's like my name. I don't hide my name at all. Well, my first name. Good luck trying to say my second name, by the way. Yeah, that's how I'm protected. But my name's Shannara, and the thing is that you Google that name, Shannara, it will come up with fucking books. Literally nothing but books. I'm named after a book. And my second name is, I can't even fucking pronounce it. Yeah, so good luck. And I can't even spell it without having to look at something. So good luck trying to find my full name.
You from Russia?
Yeah, my dad picked my last name.
What's the name?
Middle name, okay, and Sukabiet.
Can you
I
type in the chat? I
I'm
want
not
to
saying
see.
it on live stream.
I can actually pronounce it. Russian is my native language, so I think I can pronounce it. Unless
I'm
it's
not
a-
saying on live stream, but I can't fucking spell it either. So
Oh,
kind of
that's a
kind
real
of
big name. If you can't spell or pronounce it, then yeah, probably people won't find out it's you.
well, it's got a lot of rolling R's in it, and I can't roll my R's. I'll just say that. But
I thought that
yeah,
Brits love their R's.
yeah.
Or-
But I remember when I remember like talking to SJWs, and they'd be like, "Oh my," and they would actually think that it would be a fake. My name's Jenna, like being a fake name, yeah, because I don't sound or look foreign, and I'm going like, you do know where that name originated from, right? And they're like, "Oh, well, it obviously originated from some country in like, you know," and I said, "It's from a book from an American writer, you idiot."
People say, "Well, you don't look foreign," as if people in different countries look radically different. It's like it's not like white people can live in different countries and look pretty much the same, even though they're from different.
There's white people in South Africa. It's just like,
There's-
you don't look South African. There's a ton of white people there.
See, there's two types of SJWs when it comes to like how
Ignorant and the racist.
they react when I tell them what color my father is. There's the ones that go, no, because there's no black people in Russia. Yes, there's
Yes, there is.
Really?
There's no black people in the South because we hang
and
them
there's the
all.
other ones that go, "Oh, okay, so you're a half breed."
Oh,
Because they don't
God.
want
Yeah.
to say
You know
it.
what, guys? You know,
They just-
Breaking Ruin Edgy Sphinx commented on one of my videos today. Said my video was shit. I consider that a massive compliment.
Well, I was never a fan of Edge Sphincter. He's kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like as retarded as some people are, but some of the stuff he says, it's like sometimes I can't tell if he's
genocide.
he's being serious.
The guy's a psychopath, dude. He once said he was happy this young woman was murdered by Islamists. Fuck him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he seriously thinks that, or is it just being edgy?
He wasn't. I don't think he was joking. I mean, it didn't seem like a joke. It seemed like he was.
It's really hard to tell with these people.
Huh? He said
Really hard to
because
tell.
he helped refugees, she deserved to get raped and murdered. He said, "All right." He said, "I wish he could get raped and murdered again." That's what he said.
Well, obviously it's a really shitty thing to say. Well, I can appreciate the really, really dark irony of because her parents are very pro-refugee cucks. So
I mean, yeah, there is a dark irony, but to be happy that happened to a young woman, that's sick.
yeah, it's
No.
Yeah.
She didn't deserve that. I mean, I don't agree with the Merkel open doors policy either, but fuck, I'm not gonna wish that upon anyone.
well, if it was her parents who got that maybe I would probably gloat. But she was like 19 years old, so it's
Yeah, she's like 19. Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's-
she's
didn't
not
probably
responsible for it.
even mature enough to have her own opinion on the subject, and so yeah, it's really.
All right, so that's the kind of guy, and he said that my video is shit, and I view that as a compliment coming from that piece of dog crap.
It's kind of okay.
And the other thing was also his video on centrism was just like a giant straw man. He's like, "Oh, they're lying. Centrists are lying," and it's like, no, most centrists will tell you they have a leaning one way or the other.
It's like he's one of those people. Maybe he's doing it deliberately, or maybe he really believes that. A lot of people think that centrism is really being a chronic fence sitter. It's not like
Yeah.
It's not what centrism is.
But it's too much of a pain in the ass, so no, of course no one is.
Use
thing
more
is,
lube.
I saw this nasty little tweet going like, "Oh, centrists are all centrists are Antifa." Yeah,
The
like all
fuck?
centrists.
Holy shit!
I'm going like, well, I'm not fucking Antifa, am I?
And
fucking
there's also
hate
this one, the David, of course, and Nightmare Fuel,
And
aka
they say the
Reese.
perfect women don't exist.
It's like, I think there's a simpler answer. They call us Nazi because we are white. I think that's a troll account.
Oh,
Aryan State, Oh Negroes Co.
Oh,
Anti-feminist, and then the Nazi. They call us Nazis because we're white. And this one,
yeah, it's a troll.
of course, it's a
Yeah, that
troll.
was certainly a troll account.
Oh, Negrosco, what?
Probably.
Yeah. Either a troll account or some really someone trying to bait. It's like
but it's
this-
ridiculous.
Yeah, were they holding boxes of detergent? You know, when you want your whites really white.
Yeah. Those look like either boxes of detergent or just white crackers.
Oh, it's-
Ridiculous though, because I'm being called like a socialist or a communist, right? For not picking a political side, and I'm like, do you not know what I am? Like I don't like commies. Okay, communism is shit. Socialism is shit. Capitalist for the win. Fuck you all.
Yeah, I had somebody call me a Nazi. I was like, look, motherfucker, I am a totalitarian fascist. I am not a socialist.
I don't want to break. It's said that I have to break it to you, but fascism is a form of socialism. And let me actually.
Well,
I made this
Well,
picture.
I'm more like the oligarchy or monarchy breed of fascism.
It's easy. I always have the joke state in me, so it's always like, if someone call you a Nazi, step up and say Heil.
the Nazis had a socialist wing, but they got killed off in the Long Knives. So I mean, like, fascism isn't necessarily socialism, but it because there is like right wing sort of fascism.
When I take those political things,
Well, this fascism as
I'm a
like,
totalitarian fascist built around me being in the seat of power.
they keep saying I'm a little libertarian, but that's only because when I answer the questions on traditionalism, I'm more of a scientific person towards traditionalism because I think most traditions are dumb.
Yeah, the thing about traditions is that I view traditions just like everything else. So it's just because something is traditional, it doesn't mean it's good or it's bad. It's just it should be reviewed on its own terms. Some traditions, well, first of all, some traditions are really good. For example, toilet bowls are traditionally installed on the floor, not on the ceiling. That's a good tradition. It makes sense.
Traditions is exactly like natural. Yeah, some natural things are good, some natural things are bad, like bears.
Just because something was done this way for a long time, again, some things are traditions because they work, so it makes sense. Some traditions just survive from the times where people were more superstitious and less knowledgeable than they are now. So just because something was done this way for a long time doesn't mean it should be done this way.
I used to knock on wood like 3 times.
Appeal to tradition is one of the biggest.
But
the novelty is also kind of an equally absurd fallacy that something is better just because it's new or different.
Yeah.
But I remember I used to knock on wood like 3 times for like good luck, and then obviously when I got older, I was like, this is stupid.
By the way, when I mean by right wing fascism is sort of like the Pinochet sort of like
Well, I wouldn't call
pro-capitalist sort of thing.
I'll call me a purist, but I think that it shouldn't be called fascism. It's it's a militaristic dictatorship.
Yeah, I think people usually call fascism anything with extreme authoritarianism. That's what people usually call fascism.
That's how I am. If I was in the seat of power, it'd be like, you do what I say, or I kill you.
I love that Trump face. Just like I'm gonna smash you, bud. I'm gonna smash you, brother.
Next one should have put something else on the on the plane.
Oh shit!
Oh, I
yeah.
know
That's
this
next for
guy.
two.
Oh, yes.
9/11 jokes
Powerpuff
like
Girls.
that. They what is it?
I was
And
like,
then the
oh,
last
okay,
one.
Antifa
I don't know.
guy.
Here comes the airplane.
Dude.
I was like, I was like, oh yeah, the Antifa guy, and then no, look at his neck. Like someone actually had to point out that like
That's not a guy. That's giraffe.
Good
yeah,
neck.
And like, what's even more pathetic is he's got the hair down deliberately to cover one eye. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
oh,
But that's your fucking hair when you do an interview and on the fucking TV.
By the way, speaking of those, remember when you showed this account of this so-called fashion, those fashion goyettes? Remind me of this.
thanks a lot.
Oh,
Oh my god.
So this one is like some people said that she's like a FBI plant and trying to get data on some those quote unquote fashion goys.
Yeah.
Someone contacted her and gave her good quote unquote good advice.
Yeah, what's WN?
White nationalist.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you need to do is say fashion goy more often. This makes white nationalists aroused and easier to catfish. Second, you should probably make a bold provisional statement to let them know you're the real deal and definitely not a robot fed. Something like my fellow should carry more guns to public events. And guess what she did?
Word for fucking word.
Jesus Christ.
She's either at best, she's a normie. At worst, she's a fucking rat.
Or
I wouldn't say a rat or a snitch. No, if she's from outside, she's a rat.
I think she might be one of those, really normie, maybe a catfish. Probably a catfish.
Most likely a catfish.
Yeah,
And
it's more like she's on
And
a
a really
mission.
bad one.
Snitches will turn on you to get out of trouble. She's on a mission.
She's like
She
the
wants
worst.
to take down the enemy.
Hold on. I'll find something you have to play.
It's hard to catfish a lot of those quote-unquote fashion goys, especially the LARP types, which are, the kind of basement dwellers who have body pillows of anime waifus. And they are torn between this preservation of white race and fapping to Asian girls. So
Yeah, I was actually thinking about getting a waifu pillow while I was at Dragon Con. I was like, hell with it, It's like I keep hearing it. Like I'm thinking about getting one, and then just walking around the convention like it's no big deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll tap to Asian girls. I know white supremacists just from that. That's how I'll prove that I'm not a racist. Okay, I'll go fap to Asian girls.
Well, I mean, I was considering getting one because I didn't have enough pillows in the hotel room. So,
All right, Glebs, play what I just posted. That's basically what if she's a cop, that's
oh
basically
god,
how
she's
it
got
feels.
a husbandu pillow.
Oh, it's even better.
by the way, you said that I'm not racist, I'm fapping to Asian girls. That's almost exactly what Cock Dusty said today about, I'm not racist, I used to be married to a Nathan. That would be
And why aren't you married to her now?
Well, here's the fun part. Let me show the screenshot, because it was so fucking easy to just...
I never thought a pillow would be so heavy.
One moment.
I saw that. I was just like, oh god, like Dusty, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's like almost saying I'm not racist. My neighbors are darkies.
Well, pretty much that's what he said. That's exactly what he said. Just look at this. He was saying I'm not racist because I was married to a minority.
Next door, I need a beer.
No.
And,
you know what I want to link to? I want to link to shit. What's the guy from the Young Turks who is like, oh, saying I have black friends is racist.
Fuck the Young Turks, my
Yeah,
God.
what's it mean if you say you have Armenian friends?
Chan Koger had Armenian friends before his buddies got rid of them.
Chank, if you ever see this stream, Tell System of a Down that you don't believe in the Armenian genocide.
We should call him. I call him chunked yogurt.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
a
and don't-
Kazarian doesn't
oh, yeah, and
believe in it
don't-
either, apparently.
Oh yeah, and don't bring like a phone.
By the way, I think that Chunk Ogre can be in a similar band. Let me find this meme.
Let me find the
I have
video.
memes for every occasion. Yeah, this is the band that Chunk Ogre should be in.
Oh.
Come on. Oh my god.
Of course.
My favorite one of those actually is they have the Down syndrome kid in the chef's outfit and says, "Hey, I just picked up my new slow cooker."
So this is the video you wanted me to play. Okay, let's see.
B is on the contacts menu rather than commodities. So the trial and error that was needed to figure this all out made me feel like the world's worst undercover cop. Hello, could someone direct me to the black market so I can sell all this highly illegal cargo? Thank you, Mr. Black Marketeer. I will certainly think of you next time I have some stolen goods. Would you mind spelling out your name and address into this microphone? So Elite Dangerous does take it.
I remember this clip.
I love Yahtzee. Fucking
I haven't seen him in a while. I need to watch some more stuff.
Yeah, he's been
Oh,
in live streams
dear.
actually.
Since
They're
I
really
was-
fun.
Let's take a look at this. You've probably seen this one, but it's so good. I've seen it several times. It's still funny, no matter how many times I watch it. So if you don't know, well, probably everyone knows at this point. But yeah, this is this guy, Lawrence O'Donnell. He is a TV host from MSNBC, and like a lot of those, he's not even just a lefty. He's I think socialist, which is funny because a guy who makes a lot of money on TV is a socialist. Probably doesn't know much about socialism because in a socialist country he wouldn't make like 1/10 of what he makes now. Anyways, so he is one of those who says that Trump has a really short fuse and is unfit for being president, unhinged. And let's watch this. It's funny. And it gets funny and funnier the further in the video we are because it's great.
See how that one goes. Thank you, Rachel. Well, today President Trump visited Texas, but he forgot to bring any empathy with him. But he did bring a hat that is for sale.
58 seconds.
What's going on? Why am I losing this? Why don't I have?
Yeah, what is he losing? His marbles. Well, that ship already sailed. There's not much left of them.
Sound. All right, it's back. Someone's pressing buttons and turning my sound off. Who's asking for a Labor Day rundown in my ear? Someone in that control room is out of control.
That will be funny is if when he had turned his head, you could see clearly he had no earpiece in.
So, is this like live TV or is it just a parody thing?
No, it's during the live. In a few seconds, they're gonna switch back when it's him, and then he's gonna speak normally. And then when he cut to someone else, then he loses shit.
Yeah, while he's on air, he's pretending to be normal. But when like commercial break or they switch to some other, so when he's not being broadcast, he's losing his shit, which is. And he made this mistake. He was really screaming and squeaking at the technicians there, and some of them probably decided, "Oh, fuck this cock," and decided to release this unedited video. Never be rude to your technicians, especially if you have this short for fuse, because they probably have a lot of dirt on you. Well, they said 10 seconds. It means that in 10 seconds, cameras will be switched to him again. So he has 10 seconds to get his shit together and pretend to be not crazy. I love this screenshot. This pause face.
So the president went to Texas today, and as Politico reports, he did not meet a single storm victim, see an inch of rain, or get near a flooded street. Born in horrific disaster and tragedy.
Why would he go to a flooded street?
Yeah, what purpose would that serve? Like, why?
Yeah.
You expect him to be like, just start shoveling or something? God.
Yeah. And yeah, well. Then again, it's people who watch this shit. They are already convinced that Trump is Satan. So
I'm gonna go. So I'll be back.
There's black ink everywhere. No.
And they say of the United States. There's insanity in the control room tonight.
He's looking amazing.
Shit, the camera's on.
If you think the president's language was a little too celebratory about the sudden fame that can happen to people during hurricane coverage, a fame no one should welcome, if you think the president's language moves closer and closer to the president, one of the deaths in Houston that was ignored by President Trump is Police Sergeant Steve Perez, who had been missing since Sunday morning. You have insanity in my earpiece. Not my earpiece, it's somebody talking on our lines.
Or maybe he's just hearing voices.
Maybe.
I was kind of wondering if it was a troll or not. Like somebody had gotten a hold of like the frequency and was just talking into.
From the video, it's he later says that it's some woman talking about Labor Day special, so it's probably in the same studio. But just first of all, the only thing how you pick up the like different someone else talking unless they still use analog audio, which is like it's the current year. Why not? For fuck's sake, it's 2017. It's one of those examples where it's a current year is actually a valid argument, because who uses analog audio anymore? No, not audio, like analog transmission.
Well,
audio.
again, I mean, there's a lot of things that I still use from like 10, 15 years ago because it works.
Yeah, but it's like CNN. They are like multi-billion-dollar corporation. They should use it's as if they would still use like a vacuum tube equipment or something, or maybe like those mechanical calculators.
Yeah. Well, but then again, also with some things, the more complicated you get, and the more high tech and whatever, the more the more issues you end up running into as well.
I mean, one issue they wouldn't run into would be this picking up other conversations, because it's purely one analog wireless transmission when you can listen to others. If it was digital, this wouldn't be an issue.
10 seconds.
President Trump did not mention Sergeant Perez today, and he has not tweeted about people in shelters across Texas tonight. Here's Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner this afternoon. Every time we go to a SOT, there's a woman talking in my ear about something that has nothing to do with what we're doing here. Joining us now, James Fallows, national correspondent for The Atlantic and former speechwriter for President Jimmy Carter. Also with us, Josh Earnest, former White House press secretary for President Obama. He's an MSNBC political. James Fallows.
Invisible flies.
I really appreciate it. Coming up, is Donald Trump going to be called to testify to Congress? Michael Liskoff has the latest on that. Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
Oh my God!
One on the other floor. Somebody go up there and
Is this going to end like, was it like Christian Bale's rant on that guy who was hammering on the set? Do you remember how that went?
Yeah.
Their salvation. It's fucking distracting when you're walking around Price in the middle of the fucking scene.
Oh.
Give me a fucking answer.
hammering.
Hello?
Hi, Nick.
Alright.
Yeah.
Because you joined at the
Contest again.
last
Hold
part
on.
of the video. You've probably seen this already, but yeah.
I'll go down to the goddamn floor.
Try it again.
Stop it. Keep the
God
goddamn.
damn it. Hold on.
So you can hear us.
Can
We
you hear
can
us?
hear you perfectly.
What the hell's going on? Okay, there we go. We're fixed. Hear me?
At least you don't have hammering or insanity in your earpiece. That's so good.
Wait, what I do?
Oh, you
Stop
don't
the
have
hammering.
you don't have a hammering, and you don't have insanity in your earpiece. Nobody's
Okay, so
pressing
I'm not a
buttons.
potato nigger. That's good.
Okay.
Wait, you haven't heard that before? That was told to me by an Irishman. That's incredible.
I know the euphemism. I just I know that.
Yeah, I was manually adjusting my
he's, Irish.
audio hardware. That's why I was a little late.
Potato
Yeah.
nigger. I like that.
What?
Potato nigger.
Yeah.
My
It is
favorite
it is
euphemism
applicable. The further you look at the word, it is more applicable, especially in America.
Still, my favorite is calling Canadians snow Mexicans.
Essentially, yes.
Anyway, so yeah, that's you've seen this video probably. Everyone's seen it.
I have no. Well, what's
haven't
too
seen
much
it?
of a good thing? He is actually more embarrassing than O'Reilly. Well, let's finish this.
Yeah. Well, it's almost the
Commercial
same.
break, go. Call fucking Phil Griffin. I don't care who the fuck you have to call. Stop the hammering.
So is he like a meme now?
Empty out the
Yes,
god.
yes, he very much is.
What's going on? It's either there or out there somewhere.
Justice
He's
is
talking about shit he has
Just-
no clue about. He doesn't work in the audio engineering room.
The woman talking in my ear was talking about the Labor Day special repeatedly every time we went to a SOT. Yeah, what do you mean in the conversation? Not in the Bush SOT, no. Fucking out of control shit.
God, what an ass.
All he had to do was turn his thing off till the problem is fixed.
Well, the problem is that these people, they cannot do anything without either a teleprompter or earpiece. They are unable to speak without just.
Well, no. The thing is, he'd basically be unable to listen to his guests. Although, again, that's not his issue. That's the control room's issue. But he went on about this for like the entire runtime.
Yeah, and he's so angry. It's like, is it like cocaine's hell of a drug or something?
Bill O'Reilly was just confused, and the producer tried to explain what "to play us out" meant, and the producer was shit at explaining it, so O'Reilly got mad. This is Lawrence being so goddamn stupid, he can't reach behind him and flick the off switch to his earpiece, which they all have. No, he just sits there and decides to pretend to go insane. Well, I guess he's already there. I have some familiarity with how audio mixing works. He's just being retarded.
Joe Arpaio joins us next. I don't know why I bother to say how to cut the slots when you don't do it. I just don't.
But
I don't
that's
know.
your fucking job.
So now I have to chase those stupid goddamn entrails that you allowed him to stick out there.
He's the only one that hears that shit.
Fucking sound coming in my ear, this fucking stupid hammering.
Then turn it off.
Well, the hammering wasn't from his earpiece. The hammering was in the studio. And if you crank the volume all the way up, you can hear some of it really faintly. Maybe he's like hungover or coming down from...
Yeah, he's on something here.
This looks like amphetamine withdrawal. The first couple
Oh
of
yeah,
days.
that's right. Dr. Love is here. Please analyze it, Doctor.
I told you why I wanted those fucking words cut. It just fucking sucks. It fucking sucks to be out.
Fucking thing sucks.
Then how about you leave, or hopefully he won't get fired.
No.
MSNBC is way past the point of where they gave a shit, which is why Oberman got fired before. But they aren't going to fire O'Donnell now.
Yeah, well, I mean, makes sense for them to, people, if they fire one of
They're going to accuse the alt-right of leaking this.
The funny part is that the
Actually, I probably already have.
I don't think the technicians are like their jobs are so enviable that they are going to stick to that. I mean, they probably don't care.
Oh no, they care. He cares.
Oh, I mean, technicians don't care about their jobs that much because they aren't probably well paid anyways. So they
to be out there with this.
Well, the ones who are actually good at their job are actually doing like main NBC and the films. They're not working.
If his earpiece was picking up something else unrelated, they're probably not that great at their job, or the equipment is shit.
Well, that I could believe. I mean, what mixers have components that die in them, right?
Well, I don't think it's not a mixer.
Oh, it depends on what they're using, I guess.
It's like they're still using analog wireless transmissions, and it's like they're picking transmissions from other, or maybe even those analog wireless, like wireless microphones and wireless earphones. They have several channels, and if you have several of those, you can switch them to different channels so they don't interfere with each other.
So somebody didn't quite tune the frequency right, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I used to have this. I still have it.
I know. Well, the reason I kind of know what you're talking about is that I used to do singing work, and we had one of the engineers, and one of the things he had to do was make sure our channels were separated well enough. Yeah, and depending on the venue, that can be a little difficult.
Yeah, it's like having, for example, wireless keyboards and mice.
Oh yeah.
You have to make sure they are not using the same frequency, or they will interfere. This interference between my wireless mouse and my wireless router. Yeah, it was when I was installing operating Ubuntu on a laptop through wireless, and I was using a wireless mouse. And while it was downloading packages, mouse was non-responsive and really slow, like choppy. Anyways, yeah, it's different, but still.
That's weird.
You can come into my ear at any moment.
But if
oh, he's dumb.
I went out there. My kid had eaten popsicle sticks.
Oh
shit!
Like, well, maybe your kid is a beaver in disguise. So wooden sticks are better than popsicles themselves.
No, he played Mega Man and tried to absorb Woodman's power.
I'm back. Holy shit, we're still on that video.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
Anybody can get into my fucking ear at any time. Some woman talking about what we're doing.
Yeah, because it's fucking empty in between your ears.
Well, I mean, if they just have several of those identical wireless transmitters, and they all set to a couple of them set to the same frequency, it's probably technicians who fucked up, because it's their job to make sure that all of them are set to different frequencies so they don't interfere with each other.
Now I want to find the frequency and just fuck with this guy.
Oh yeah, it's probably deliberate. There's probably people who have been sick of his shit and have done this deliberately.
Fuck with this guy, you need to be real close, because those transmitters are really low power. It's like,
not if you just leave them all at the default.
You can't interfere with them from different state. You need to be in the same building.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's New York, so there probably would be a ton of like you could probably be in. I think depending on how little scaffolding and shit there is, it could probably be like above or below him and fuck with him.
Well, it also depends on as long as you have the frequency itself and your transmitter's powerful enough, then you can get it from a distance.
Of course, if it's that powerful, somebody would eventually notice.
The audience is going to complain about what that guy just said is absolutely right.
No, what's even better if you can sit there and sneak a transmitter in that's tied to their Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's Wi-Fi for audio. It's analog. If it was digital, it wouldn't pick up several. Because if digital use the same frequency, they wouldn't just mix the audio. It would just fuck up, and none of them would work properly. It's analog, which is studio equipment. It's like those wireless microphones, headphones. They use FM frequency modulation, just like radio and those.
No, I mean, like you'd sit there, you'd be able to sit there and just connect to the internet and talking to your microphone, and then the equipment on the receiving end would transmit over their network.
The equipment they use are fully analog.
It's analog though, yeah. That would
You have
work
a
if it's
digital to
digital.
analog converter or something.
Unless you hook up some device inside the network which
Yeah.
the router and transmits FM when it gets information from the internet. It could be done, but you need physical access there. And if you have physical access, you can do a lot of stuff.
Which is probably one reason, other than them just being cost, that they haven't upgraded to digital, because there's really no reason to.
I mean, well, if I was doing this like on my own at home, FM is good enough for quality.
Yeah.
Enough, especially if it's like a good quality equipment, which is still expensive, even like used ones. But yeah, it's TV studio. They have like, millions of dollars put into this shit, so yeah, they should probably upgrade.
How do you say this
So
guy's last
yeah, here's a picture. Basically, if Spino was a man.
Well,
Spino was
Spicy.
Wow. That would be basically the joke, I would say, but it's like, oh yeah, he retweeted that because
now that you point that out.
guests' faces coming up in the middle
Holy
of
shit.
Well, I'm glad I bought a case of Tecate yesterday. Good.
That's, by the way, speaking of that, Spino, if Spino was a man, there's a perfect reaction to that.
I don't know. Spino's done some dumb shit lately. Well, David, I should say, because he doesn't like being called Spino anymore. But
That's why I call him Spino, because he doesn't
That's
like
why,
it. I
yeah.
like the
What does he
name.
want to be called
The
now?
more you whine about being called a name you don't like, the more people are going to do it. So
Yeah.
if you actually ignore it, they will stop.
His online profile to alternative facts.
Well, no
Oh,
one's going
that
to
guy.
fucking
Those
use
guys' real
that.
names.
Yeah, it was like when I was whining about Ichabod saying "Hey baby" to me.
Nope.
Now everyone's going like "Hey baby." I'm like, oh fuck's sake.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
What's wrong?
Yeah, see. No, I got over it.
What's the name? We doesn't have much time.
I know. I know. It's not the word. It's the intent behind it. I get you.
You know,
Well,
the song
it's
was
not-
referenced.
the thing is, I don't mind from any other person, but with Ichabod, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's like weird because it's like, eh.
Yeah, yeah. The last link I've posted, that's the thing for the ultimate burn.
Moment.
Oh.
Let's see it. Oh, let's see. Today's Hangout is even less focused compared even to our other ones.
Yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, epic burn. Yeah.
That other link is just so we can now officially say that TYT says Cuck of Dusty is racist.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that in Discord before I came in.
So
The Young Turks took on Cult of Dusty.
No,
Yeah, they
according to
took
their
they took the
standards.
entire load in his mouth.
According to their standards.
And I want to do a quick little public service announcement for people who are racist or who are being called racist. If you say you don't
Got it.
race,
Got it.
people hear that as I am a racist. If you say I have many black friends, I mean, these are sort of shortcuts to finding out what you
There it
actually.
is.
So
So Cuck of Dusty was like, "Oh no, I was married to a minority woman. I lived among the in a black neighborhood." Well, TYT officially says that you're racist.
the thing is though, like,
I
what
don't
if you're
care.
actually not racist?
God damn that guy.
There's no way to prove it because apparently, if you say, "Oh well, I have black friends," and people go, "See, that's racist. You're trying to divert it." It's like, oh, fuck you.
It,
What?
it is not designed to be fair. It is designed so that they win.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Basically, the thing is, it's just that they don't understand that not everything a Nazi touch is Nazi. Just like, oh yeah, visiting a kek shrine in Japan. Just like, he's making a
Wait.
joke.
Oh, okay. I
A
get it.
Nazi doing a joke doesn't make it a Nazi joke.
Just the
Yeah,
thing
I mean,
a
it's just
Nazi
like-
would say.
It's just like I was saying. Like Hitler believed that the world was round. Like, you're not gonna suddenly believe the world was flat, right? Like,
Just look at Dusty. He's gonna say the world is flat just because of that.
I really hope he does. That would be
Speaking
amazing.
of Dusty, by the way, it's Dusty has said a lot of really retarded shit. Like, for example,
Like every word that comes out of his mouth. Yeah, we know.
have a liberal bias.
Doxing?
Oh yeah, he's trying to backpedal from that, but
Yeah,
okay.
he came out for doxing. He defended Devin Tracy.
Oh, of course he did.
Well, speaking of Devin Tracy, they had a really pleasant exchange a while back.
Of course they did. Devin Tracy is TJ, except more honest and probably just a hair more sane.
No,
I wouldn't.
Yes.
I think that.
Have you actually read the stories of what TJ's done? He's just better at hiding it.
No, but
has he doxed anyone? Has he tried to like has he like ordered hits against children? Come on.
I know he has put a banana up his butt.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Banana up his butt, but he didn't dox a kid.
Don't get me wrong.
The Amazing Atheist is an arse, and he does use like these little funding streams, and it is just a scam to get him money. Because you look at Colossus Crazy video on it, it's really accurate. He basically uses his fan base's money. He didn't give a shit.
I mean, TJ Kirk's an asshole, but he doesn't belong in prison. He's not a criminal. Okay, Devin Tracy belongs behind bars.
But
I pay to see it.
Okay.
Like for half an hour.
I actually
Hold on.
agree
So
with
you're saying that charity streams, he's skimming off the top, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, it's like he
thought everyone
he
knew that.
asked for money. Like he asked for money to help with like rent and food and all that stuff, and instead of all that, he bought a jacket with money, like a leather, like a lambskin.
That was from a while ago, wasn't it?
Can you link the video? That's interesting. I did not know that.
Why have to? Oh God. Okay, I'll try and find it.
Oh yeah, he threw Adam Johnston under the bus for that fucking not productive thing because Adam said, "This is probably a stupid fucking idea, TJ."
What's his channel name now?
What? It's like TJ Kirk or something?
No, that's his. Does he even use that channel? I don't know. I think he still uses the Amazing Atheist for most of his stuff, but like his private streams, it's just TJ Kirk, I think.
Nah, he changed his whole channel name to TJ Kirk. It's no longer.
He did.
Amazing.
For a while. Well, it was supposed to be for a while.
He had two channels, and one was TJ Kirk. Or no, TJ Does Life. That's the one I'm thinking of.
He changed it to TJ Kirk, and then something happened with I forget exactly what happened, but they made it so he couldn't change it back.
Yeah, YouTube basically doesn't allow atheist in the name anymore.
Oh, really?
That's not true. He showed that's not true. Only for his channel. He couldn't change it back to the Amazing Atheist. But yes, you can still make channels with the word atheist in the name.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, you're all going to get
YouTube
blocked
was
anyway, so
actually
it doesn't
sit
really
there
matter what you
and the
call
word
it.
atheist in channel names, that would actually get them in some shit.
Yeah, but it's not true. The reason it was either a glitch or some protection feature. So if you create new channel, you can put atheist in the name. You can rename your.
Yeah, what he said there wasn't true.
So the issue was that he was the Amazing Atheist. Then he changed to TJ Kirk. Then he tried to change back to Amazing Atheist and couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't change it back.
Should have realized that would happen. He's a dumbass.
Watch Colossus Crazy's Amazing Atheist video because TJ has about, oh, for fuck's sake, come on. Oh, fucking hell.
What?
Oh, it's bloody YouTube again.
Oh.
Being a dick. Okay, he has over like more than a few hundred videos.
On the current channel, he's had like a bunch of channels before.
Yeah, but he has more than over 100 different videos. So, and yeah, and my Google Chrome's frozen. Shit.
Well, we can still hear you, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Now I'm gonna have to Okay.
You can return.
No, it's all right. I've got it now.
Yay. Cool.
Yeah. No, YouTube just kept freezing and wouldn't let me back up to see how many videos he actually got, but he's got hundreds. So I ain't going through hundreds for a fucking video.
Someone suggested that we should do a response to this video called 4 Reasons Business Owners Should Be Socialist. And, well...
Sounds like a plan. The link I just posted is about... just before we start, just know my thing about Dusty. The last link I posted.
Is it gone?
Book office. I want you to imagine my shock. Wait,
Wait, are you backpedaling?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that part. Great one.
Nothing. Are you, like, backpedaling? No. Really? Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like you are backpedaling. The U.S. military.
By the way, speaking of backpedaling, he actually backpedaled.
Very talented fellow, that Side 10 guy.
What?
He makes some really good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Side 10. I love it. Like, okay, so the usual channels I actually watch isn't Shitlord channels. It's more like animation, animation channels and.
They still exist on YouTube? That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jaden Animations, Odd Ones Out. They're my favorite.
Okay.
They have like a, you know, they have an innocence to them, but they're still hilarious.
So this thing with Cult of Dusty, he's basically saying, I encourage it, I just won't do it myself.
Yeah, well, he used to say that he would do it himself, but then he kind of, I wouldn't do it myself, but it would be great if someone else did it.
Yeah, exactly. So he's basically encouraging his.
Has he actually ever doxed anyone? No. Has he done that himself?
Oh, he's too much of a pussy, but it's funny. I don't think he has, but well.
You can never know because you could do it and then not publicly admit it and then go on another account and do it.
Yeah, but I mean, innocent until proven guilty. Like, go. Like Devin Tracy, he fucking bragged about the fact that he doxed.
Oh yeah, Devin Tracy's just an idiot.
Called up, cornered.
We all knew that.
Like doxed them, but he bragged about that. And oh no, I didn't do nothing. I was a good boy.
That's why I chatted with Bering. I confronted him when he collabed with the guy, and Bering was all like, "It's all due process. I haven't seen any firm evidence." I'm like, "Motherfucker, he's fucking confessed." What else you need?
I don't think that Bering can play this game at all. It's plausible deniability. Everyone knows it. And
he knows. Bering knows. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
You were talking about VHS before the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this video from. I remember this video from Alien Myth 64, where it's these cats, and there's a dad cat and a son cat, and the dad cat just loses his shit on stuff like Blockbuster, iPod, like the original iPod, the Nokia. And I remember like it just like got up to me when he was like on Blockbuster. He's going, Blockbuster's the shit.
Who was this? Some channel?
Alien Myth 64. He's got a brilliant channel.
I haven't heard about that.
Blockbuster, man. Gee. I think there might be like 1 or 2 still open, maybe, but that's it. Like
there actually are. I think there's one in Alaska that's still open.
Yeah, he's got one. He's still got a Blockbuster that is still open.
They probably did what the few remaining Mr. Donut shops did. Instead of getting bought out by Dunkin' Donuts, they basically I don't know the term is incorporated, or basically the few shops became their own company, and now they're Donut Connection.
Yeah, that's what they did. It's like it's a franchise thing.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. I remember my dad went to Blockbuster all the time. I remember my dad went to Blockbuster all the time, and then I was kind of like going, "Oh, we're gonna go Blockbuster," because I always got sweets. And my dad's like, "Oh no, they all closed down." I went, "Oh, is there another one? No. Is there another one there? No. Wait, they're all gone? Yeah." I remember when I was a child, just the realization I am not going to have any more sweets from Dad for a long time. Like, I'm gonna have to wait once a week instead of 3 times a week now. It was the most devastating time of my life when I was about fucking, I don't know, 10.
Bummer.
Actually, maybe even younger than that.
Let's see, what else is going on?
Well, after something heavy, let's go into something stupid.
What do you got in mind?
I don't know. I was asking you guys.
It's the stuff. I just, look, my coffee is almost ready, so we have stupid stuff. Plenty, as always. It's not like we don't have
You guys hear about was it that one chick, Kissy Vieira, getting doxxed? Apparently, that's pretty fucked up, huh?
What?
Oh, she got doxxed?
Who did?
Yeah, she put all her videos on private because her family business was like doxxed, and she's like nervous about it.
Sarah Vera.
Who?
Yeah, you know, the hot chick who does the comedy sketches, you know.
With some black guy, they do a thing together.
Yeah, that chick, you know.
What's her name?
Kisara Vera.
Kisaria Vera. She got doxxed. Yeah, I talked to her a little bit about it on Twitter. I gave her a little bit of advice. Not much I can give, but yeah.
No idea.
She's pretty like devastated by it.
Yeah, it's shit. And it's what happens.
Yeah, that sucks. You know, I mean, because she's not like my favorite channel or anything like that. But that's bullshit that she got threatened into silence like that.
It really sucks. And a lot of shitlord channels, like when the term shitlord wasn't even popular, like anti-feminist channels, they went into not into hiding, but stopped making videos because of doxing. For example, there was this guy. Sparky Fister. Remember that guy? He used to make those funny videos.
Name's vaguely familiar. Yeah.
One of the annoying things about him that he was using Windows Movie Maker and kind of didn't. He's one of those who didn't care about audio level. So when he made a response video to this Doctor of Common Sense, that guy, the Doctor of Common Sense's audio was really, really loud, but his audio was really quiet. And watching this video, especially when you aren't sitting there at the computer, but doing something and just playing it loud. So there was this loud screaming of this Doctor of Common Sense, and then this really quiet response. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but he made really funny videos. But then he got doxxed, so he decided not to make videos anymore.
That's pretty much all you can do at that point.
Oh, well, and the real Boston. So I'll be right back. Grab a drink, and we should get right into.
My real name is like in all my videos, so I'm not too worried. You know?
Yeah, my real name is the Senate.
I am the Senate.
My real name is Shannara, and literally you just have to Google my name. It's like books.
I literally don't think they care about anybody in the stream.
No.
Little Palpatine.
Nope. So far, no.
You gonna eventually change your avatar to Snoke if he's cool in The Last Jedi?
Oh, come on. I know you're joking, but
Andy Serkis plays Snoke. You know
Andy
that?
Serkis gets credited with every motion capture character, even when he's not the primary motion capture actor. Not dissing Andy Serkis. I'm just saying that's how things go.
Not every motion capture character, but he was Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies and King Kong, Gollum. Why on earth do they do? They seem to do motion capture where it's totally unnecessary. Like they did motion capture for Smaug the Dragon, but Smaug has nothing resembling a human form, so motion capture serves no purpose.
Yeah, and that was also Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Performance capture probably for the face.
Yeah.
Eggs Benedict Cumberbun.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
God.
voice was great. I mean, his voice fit the part perfectly. He did a fantastic job, but there was no real need for motion capture.
Yeah.
It was likely performance capture, unless they actually had him in a VR suit. Then yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, but
I could see them doing motion capture if he was playing an alien. Have you seen the guy's head?
I'm back, and since you wanted
Fuck motion capture, just have him stand in front of the camera.
Yeah,
I know
fair
they
enough.
did almost with motion capture in like the last Godzilla movie. That's
Good
how they did it.
God,
They
what's
made the
going
whole
on with
guy
your
in the rubber suit thing and just did motion capture.
Well, yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Apparently, they did a mix of both.
Oh, yeah.
At least they did some kind of rubber suit, or at least a
No, there was
model
no
of it.
rubber
A guy
suit
to do
on
just
Godzilla.
to be able to.
They
to make it
designed
correctly.
Legendary Godzilla was designed as if a person was inside it, which is why they could do motion capture.
No, I'm not talking about Legendary Godzilla. I'm talking about Shin Godzilla, the last Toho one.
Okay, so I just was away
I
from.
guess you could put a person
and
inside
already
there.
we derailed the conversation. completely.
Yeah.
You gotta get that
That
version.
guy.
Waiting.
Back on
Jeez,
track.
Glimpse.
But they originally announced with that one that they would do it both computer animated and with a suit, but they ended up never building a suit and just ended up doing them like 95% computer animated.
Oh, it
Yeah,
makes
they
sense
only
for spin.
They probably
They like a
realized
that,
that
there
it would
was
be too
no suit. No
expensive
suit
to
at
do
all.
models, to do also models.
Well, it depends on the workflow because in a lot, I don't want to get into it. I've derailed it already.
No,
Yep.
there
You
you go.
doubled the broken heart.
Huh. The
I-
old one will go away. That's fine. That's
Sorry, he's telling his child, like,
4-month-old. He's not gonna get any
Yeah.
memory
Yeah,
until
he's
the
not
kid
going to
is
remember any
40
of this
years.
shit. Who cares?
He's gonna start
Well, that's
having
not
memories.
stupidest.
Well,
What
I
a
mean,
fucking moron. That's the dumbest thing I've ever. Oh God.
Obviously,
This is
old, he
another
doesn't know
woke
the fuck.
8-year-old. It's probably
Get
a
him.
fucking doll.
You know who that is?
Of course.
yeah, I saw that too. The thing is, obviously, the hope is that he's gonna get impeached, but like, it's really like he's actively trying to get his child away from reality, and it's just like
I joke that
just
as there's-
1984.
Well, they tell children that there's a Santa Claus, so it's not really all that far off.
no,
from
but
what-
like,
Yeah.
come on.
I joke that as the United States gets a string of Republican presidents, there's going to be like Democrat homeschools which say that the presidents were Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and Scooby Doo and then Buzz Lightyear. You know, they'll just keep adding more fake presidents and make a whole
Good.
fake history like Buzz
I hope
Lightyear
not.
solved
Oh,
the North
God, that
Korean
would be
problem or
terrible.
something
Oh
like that.
man, if you
I
think
don't
things
know.
are
Shit
bad
what
now
people do
with
in the private
Trump
homes.
winning one election cycle, I mean, when we get into 2020, I'm telling you, they're going to turn San Francisco into another fucking Detroit.
me and my brother were
When we get to
were-
2020, you're going to see some serious shit.
me and my brother were actually perfect examples of what misinformation can do, because me and my older brother, we've been told our entire lives that communism's great, that
Oh yeah, you lived in hell for a while. I forgot about that.
Fuck.
you know, like all this misinformation, and when we started to get introduced to reality, it actually fucked us up both, because the fact is that when reality happened, we didn't know what was real and what was not real, so we freaked out and we both went like, oh shit, we better go back to our quote safe space, and then we
Yeah,
finally
don't go
accepted it, but we didn't
You got
accept
Play-Doh
it.
and crayons for you.
We didn't accept it until about like a lot later. Like my brother didn't accept it until he was about 16 years old, and I didn't accept it until I was 18.
So
not
your dad, I think, was a communist, right?
Yeah, wasn't this
yeah.
this a fucking movie with like Tom Hanks or no? I'm not
No.
Tom Hanks, but it was people that basically went underground since the 50s because they thought they were going to get nuked, and it turned out to be wrong.
Fallout.
Blast from the past.
No, this was a film.
They did get nuked.
I want to see that movie. That sounds cool.
Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
exactly what they're
But
describing.
my little brother is going through the same thing we went through, because at the moment he's getting introduced to real life. He's only 13. He's getting introduced to real life, and everything he knows, and he still thinks that dad knows best, and dad, would never say anything bad. And at the moment he's having conflicted feelings about it because he's been told all his life that gay people are bad and liars, and he's questioning his own sexuality at the moment. So
when you question your sexuality, what do? Do you sort of turn your penis left and right?
Well, it's like
you interrogate it.
Well, okay, so it's a weird phenomenon that's happening.
I know what it is. Okay.
Basically, my dad has some sort of gay gene because my older brother, he is gay, right? My younger brother is having conflicted feelings. He doesn't know whether he's straight or gay or bi. Yeah, like he's probably not straight. And then there's me, who is bi, and that's all directly related from my dad. And there's like their sister, which isn't my sister, is on the mother's side. She's completely straight. There's my sister on my mother's side, and she's completely she's completely straight. I also got a younger sister. She's completely straight too. No, not completely straight. She's a fucking child. What am I talking about? But like, what I'm talking about is like, my dad has some sort of weird gene.
Okay. I've also heard that to a certain degree. Also, I think the more kid, like the later the kids, like third, fourth, and stuff like that, antibodies will turn or will encourage more sort of gay.
It's not.
kids.
It's not.
There's actually evidence
More
that
testosterone with each male.
Or it was something like antibodies
boy,
will.
the woman had. Yes.
What it
Having
is?
older brothers increases the likelihood of every subsequent boy being born being a homosexual. All right.
Yeah.
Because,
twin.
If you have lower levels,
likely to that doesn't. Whatever. I'm not even
Because
going to say
what it is the woman's body becomes more adept at fighting off the foreignness of the child, and thus is more likely to insert her type of feminizing hormones into the child's brain, as opposed to the proper masculine ones, because it sees the baby as foreign, and it becomes more and more adapted with each subsequent child born.
I don't think there is just one answer. I sometimes think it's genetic, but I sometimes think it's just what happens when you hit puberty. Sometimes your brain just works differently. Like it really, I think there's more than just one answer sort of thing. I think it's like a multitude of answers.
Right. No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not fully environmental. It's definitely not fully genetic either. There's a little. There's a little bit of both, definitely.
Epigenetic. Yeah. It's what epigenetics is basically when the genetic code is the same, but because of different environmental factors, different the expression of genes.
Different parts of it are expressed. Yeah.
So,
but how far do we want to go with this?
Epigenetics
is real. It just wasn't it. The people who invented the term just didn't realize how it actually worked. But yeah, epigenetic change is.
About 96% of the population is straight, so obviously is kind of a misfiring of genes if someone is outside of that heterosexual norm. That is kind of the part of how our species reproduces.
There's no kind of 100% answer at the moment, so it's all kind of just like theories. But what I do know is I grew up in a slightly homophobic environment.
Communist homophobes. Oh no shit.
And my brothers actually lived with my father, so they grew up in a completely homophobic environment where actually my older brother is disowned by my dad.
What a prick.
That's
and yeah, we're I think all three of us are just not straight. Because my younger brother, he doesn't I think he might either be bi or gay, but definitely not straight, I don't think.
In 1933, the Soviet government, under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, recriminalized homosexual activity with punishments of up to 5 years hard labor. Following Stalin's death, there was a liberation of attitudes towards sexual issues in the Soviet Union. So yeah, Stalin.
Yeah, I stopped being a. I stopped being
So
like.
as punishment for being
homophobia
gay, you're
goes
going to
even
put
back
them
to
around
Marx
a bunch of men
himself.
for 5 years.
I stopped being like a SJW feminist when I was 17, but I didn't like fully accept like the fact that like, oh yeah, communism shit and all that stuff until I was about 18. So yeah, yeah, it's like thanks parents.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 13.
I love when a feminist actually drops the feminist ideology, you know, because we can celebrate her realizing that the men's proper place in society.
What?
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it sure beats the feminist view. The feminists want to, you know, make.
You mean the feminist view, but you have no functional society at all?
Yeah, probably. Feminists want to put all the men in the basement or underground and only come up for repairing the plumbing or whatever, and that's why it's starting right now. Men are too dangerous to go to university. You know.
The thing is, though, the thing is, though, as long as I don't have to have children, because I don't want children, I don't like children. I'm pretty sure I'll kick those little shits out. But like if I was just like a housewife sort of thing, like hey, I want you to be a housewife, but we're not gonna have kids. I'll be like, fuck yeah.
That's fine. That's still being a productive member of society.
Just adopt a Syrian refugee because they ain't kids either.
You'll be the only one in a handmaid's uniform with piercings and shit.
Right, stoking tits.
Funny,
should have.
That's fucking guy. Oh, come on. I get that Mel Brooks is saying political correctness is the enemy of comedy, but when is the last time he did anything funny or worthwhile? Getting gold and irrelevant is way worse than enemy of comedy.
Wipe?
I don't know.
Comics are not going to universities anymore. That's
Who the fuck is this guy? I know who Mel Brooks is.
Usually drop out of universities.
Yeah. Well, Mel Brooks is like 90-something years old, so
yes. Didn't he retire from filmmaking?
He could still be a producer. I haven't actually kept up with him.
Yeah, it's like he's super old. It's like when was the last time when he wasn't having a problem walking?
Yeah, or when somebody was telling him that everything he did was offensive.
He's still relevant. The thing is that he's still relevant. Even his comedy is still relevant. So fuck off.
Well, not to mention, like, can you imagine how like he's doing like all the Nazi parody stuff like that, like just like
Springtime for Hitler. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't really uncommon for people from his generation. I mean, everyone laughs at the Nazi Star Trek episodes, but then you realize that James Doohan actually fought in Normandy, but he didn't like whine about it. And you also had fucking Hogan's Heroes. That was a fuck comedy in a goddamn concentration camp, or no, it was a POW camp.
Yeah.
Well, that level of totalitarianism was a relatively common topic back in the day. I mean, even Rod Serling with the Twilight Zone was.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you look back, you can see a lot of anti-racist and anti-fascist messages in that.
Well, you know, the Civil War was about freeing the slaves. World War II is about freeing the Jews. It's just a leftist slant to saying, you know, it's about the world fighting oppression and working its way to a communist ideal. It's just a slant.
I mean, which the funny thing is, we didn't even know about the Holocaust until after it happened. So this idea.
Nobody really talked about it until the 70s.
I'm actually curious about James. He keeps calling himself a fascist. And I'm like, how?
Just take over the classic liberal. It's just I tell people I'm like, you know, totalitarian fascist because my ideal government has me at the seat of power, and everybody does what I say or they die.
Oh yeah, that's my kind of politics.
That's a very good way.
As I was saying earlier, I mean, I was a Stalinist when I was 13, but that was only because I thought dictators were cool regardless of the ideology.
Dictators are very efficient. It's just they're not stable usually because it requires.
Like, have you ever heard of the band NKVD?
The story
that doesn't
like the
sound
dark
fun.
plague is the wise.
Well,
That's
let's
right.
start the
Going with that.
provisional wing of the NKVD or something like that.
Well, there's an industrial black metal band called NKVD, and they basically have songs about dictatorships and oppression from both like fascist and communist dictators, and it's some of the best shit ever.
Yeah,
see, I use that in a couple of my videos.
Yeah, the other part of the reason why I'm a fascist is because like I'm the kind of person that I would have a law in place that if you were burning the American flag or desecrating it or whatever else, you would be shot on sight.
I'm a libertarian.
A metal pole would be mounted there, and your head would be put on that spot, so everybody who can walk
that shit.
by.
Free speech.
Let him have his fantasy. You're not gonna go whole hog. Don't
How do you make sure
fantasize.
that's not abused, though?
Wasting metal masturbation juice.
Broken Heart, your audio is really, really distorted. Like
Who?
I'll restart.
Yeah,
okay.
I actually agree with James. I actually agree with your political side, but just one change. I'm
Hello?
gonna see it, not you.
Better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How exactly do you prevent that from being abused? Essentially, like somebody's like, oh, well, I don't like this person. He's been getting on my nerves. I'm gonna burn an American flag and shoot him.
Well, that's the risk you always run with dictatorships. But the upside is that shit is
that's the thing.
decisions are made very quickly.
Okay,
Are you talking about burning an American flag and setting somebody else up for it?
Yeah.
Oh, at that point, if we find out that you burned an American flag to set somebody up, we kill your family.
James, how is that different from blasphemy laws? Because how is it different from burning over the Quran?
Well, it's simple. It's simple.
No, because
it isn't.
The thing is burning a religious text is not an act of aggression against a sovereign nation.
Well, in case of Islam, Islam is politics. Politics and religion are intertwined. It's the Quran is a political book. It's about the caliphate.
So you're burning. So what? Basically, you'd be burning
you're burning the Muslim holy text and not the political one. Then okay, fine.
Well, no, it's intertwined. It's like
You can't really separate them with Islam. That's the problem.
All right, to play middle ground with James here, I'm actually okay with states doing that kind of stuff. It's just I wouldn't personally myself try to outlaw or stop anyone, but I do think back at the time when the 10th Amendment applied to states where anyone can make their own laws, I thought that was fine. But then, of course, after the Civil War with the passage of the amendments, we basically applied the standards to Congress to pretty much all the states. So at the time, there was a time where a state could outlaw burning of the flag, but now that can't happen anymore.
It is technically illegal to burn a flag. It's in the law. It's actually in the law that desecration of a flag is a federal crime.
The thing is about dictatorship, you don't have to follow any rules, so he can do what he likes if he dictates.
The First Amendment protects flag burning.
It does. The Supreme Court has ruled on it.
And that's why the Supreme Court would be shot. I would find every
judge. I thought we were discussing this with the understanding that James is running his own nation, not America. How did we all lose
I would be running America because if I was an emperor, I would have taken over America.
You see?
Oh, anyways, let's get less retarded. Like,
okay.
I know that
let's go back to watching Lawrence O'Donnell hear voices in his head.
I know
we completely lost.
When an atheist is so defensive of symbols, which is really ironic. Yeah, all those stupid Muslims are butthurt about burning the Quran, but if you burn a flag, we should.
I mean, I was raised when I was a kid. The burning the flag was the one free speech exception because it was the symbol of your freedom. So to disrespect the flag meant you were spitting on the very freedoms that it protected.
But then that goes into the symbol of your freedom. So you are not free to celebrate it.
I saw a picture of a woman wiping her ass with the American flag, and I was such a dick. All I could think was, oh god, that.
Oh yeah, guys are porn.
Don't
like
irony of removing the freedom of desecrating the symbol of freedom because you are punishing people for aggression against a symbol which is not a human being, which is not it's symbols do not feel pain. Symbols cannot be harmed. If
Yeah,
you
but see, that would be the fact is that's why I'm a totalitarian fascist. Is I don't care what anybody thinks.
yeah, fascists are leftist cucks.
I mean, fascism was.
But there are some pretty
Okay,
good.
no, that can't be right because you can't have both communism, socialism, and fascism all be on the left.
It depends on your definition of fascism, really. But
Well, how the original political spectrum is that ideologies considered more egalitarian were left-wing, and more hierarchical ideologies were considered right-wing. So then
well, that's because left-right is bad. It is just a bad system.
But then in the American sense, it just became, left's government equals right wing, more government equals left wing. That's why you have, people say, the Nazis were left wing, but actually they were considered a third. They were considered third position.
And now wait, and now you wait, hold on. Now you have right-wing Trump supporters who want more government.
Well, I know. That's why that is a very oversimplistic and inaccurate way to look at it.
You won't believe it. It's there are people who unironically talk about anarcho-fascism.
Yeah.
It's called. I think it's called
Oxymoron.
tribal
That's what
anarchism.
it's known as, an oxymoron.
Well, I think they call it tribal anarchism.
Fascism is pretty much statism
to a great degree.
Okay, so
the polar opposite of
fascism.
They say the polar opposite of fascism
is
is anarchism and not communism.
I date an anarcho-socialist, so I'm not even fucking surprised at this point.
The funny part about communism that in theory, as they say, communism is supposed to be stateless, so it is anarcho. But the funny part is that to get to communism, according to Marx, which is Marx is supposed to be pretty much all socialists, or at least most of them, hold Marx in high regard. And according to Marx, to get to communism, the necessary stepping stone is socialism. And how are you supposed to install socialism nationwide without using the power of the state and increasing the power of the state?
That's the one thing I didn't get about his what I call Marx's theory of evolution was, at some point you have communism, but then the pure communism is where you have a stateless and classless society. But at first, it seems he needs to make the government so big, and then eventually it just, pops, and then that's how we get
not
it.
so much pops as it basically dissipates. It runs itself.
There's no real mechanism.
And as we are humans, that the dissipation would never happen.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, it would never happen.
That's why.
About a case when government surrendered some of its powers willingly. It never happens. Government always grows bigger. To make government smaller, you have to force it to become smaller. I haven't heard of any case when a big state has voluntarily shrunk itself and removed some of its influence and
you could do as in some Russia, some old Soviet place called as the Soviets did, and literally reduce the government by killing off people.
It's the revolution.
It's not the government that reduced itself. Well, it's revolution. When the government...
but no, the government themselves just like, we're gonna kill off some of the other guys so we get more power.
Well, the great part
that's how Soviet communism works. Period.
Anarcho-capitalism is considered.
Anarcho-capitalism is the one that would work the most.
I was going to say anarcho-capitalism is on the right, and they don't want the state; they just want a free market.
Yeah,
which is also retarded because then corporations.
One thing with anarcho-capitalism, which one is it? Imagine this huge corporation rises and becomes so powerful that it becomes pretty much the same as the state. How it is different from statism? When you have a corporation,
and now we've discovered the horseshoe effect. Awesome.
And by the way, some people who are socialists, those evil corporations. And how is socialism not corporatism when it's the worst kind of monopoly, when the state is the mega corporation that runs everything? This is how socialist countries are. It's one corporation that runs everything. Because how it is different?
Well, the thing is,
Careful, Glebs. You're sounding like a sovereign citizen like that. They say the government's a corporation.
Oh.
Am I being
No,
detained?
sovereign citizens have no understanding of any political theory.
Yeah, I know that.
I think
Shit. Apparently, Netflix has pulled a kids show after somebody found a huge,
Yeah, it's
huge
pretty
hidden
blatant.
penis. It's not hidden. It's in plain fucking sight.
With some of the stuff that Netflix shits out that they make themselves, I am not
Oh
surprised.
yeah, how about their latest one that actually shows a small girl looking at her pussy through a mirror,
and it's
And
a
the pussy
cartoon
goes
face, which
back.
actually makes it more disturbing.
Fuck.
And I have to know, is it fucking Amy Schumer that voices the pussy?
Probably. No joke.
I wouldn't be
Everyone who
surprised.
works on that show has a Jewish last name.
Why not? She is a giant cunt.
Have you heard of the Amy Schumer?
I'm dead serious.
I mean,
And it's
no,
not
some
even because of Soros. It's just nepotism. Good.
Anyway, so let's get back on track because we have some really retarded SJW shit to discuss.
Bring it on, Glebs.
Just sorry, I'll remove fascism from the screen. How it sounds. I'll remove fascism from the screen. But yeah. So basically, this tweet summary says it all about the article.
Holy fucking shit! Yeah, that's the only thing you can answer.
Click on the
Oh
second one.
God.
It's really none of their fucking business what her sexuality is. You
I
know?
have this article, full article. So
Yes, it is
How much
because the
agree?
Borg must expand and consume.
Demi Lovato's reason for refusing to talk about her
Kind of
sexuality.
kid, so I mean, I hope her sexuality is attracted to internet loudmouths.
If the pop star is willing to be so open about other parts of her life, why not this? Well, maybe because
it's her fucking life,
business.
Psychopath.
Oh my God. I knew
people usually like sexual life is something people are usually not willing to share as publicly as other things. So depends. Some people are really open about it, but usually it's something that is reserved either to discussing with people you know, like friends, or like maybe people you really trust, and not just
yeah.
a public
Not
person.
just fucking randos on the internet in a live stream.
Yeah, I mean, I don't talk about my
Parents
life.
are waiting.
with
They're
public-
waiting. Parents have like an open palm ready to slap their gay teen sons unless they hear, oh, Demi Lovato is one. Oh, well, that's okay then. Yeah, that's right.
I like Black Mana's response to his gay son Aqualad when he came out to him. I don't care. We're all just meat. I'm dead serious. It was actually a beautiful. It was a beautiful response.
Speaking of that, there was this post by Shitpost Bot. Shitpost Bot is pretty much.
Let me look it up.
Let me
Why are people so angry about this stupid cartoon? It's just a fucking cartoon voiced by adults.
I
Like, she looks at her vagina, yeah, but the vagina is so badly drawn, it just looks like a pink pear.
Well, maybe that's the problem. They should probably be more anatomically correct.
Yeah, it would be less creepy if it were, because it would just be a vertical line and
I insist on accurate
folds
physics.
around it.
Upside down, reverse vision, upside down, whatever. I insist on accurate physics no matter what.
Okay, well,
The show just reminds me of a slightly, a drawn slightly worse South Park, but less funny.
Oh, I could see that. It looks
How
more
could it be
horrendous
less
than Mr.
funny than current South Park? That's
You know what's the problem? It's that they have the proportion of 4 years old. They're supposed to be entering puberty. They arrive at the
Well, then it would
hips of
just be
adults.
creepy.
That's,
Oh, wait.
that's why it's creepy.
Shall we take a look at the article? Because the
Yeah,
article
you're
is going
expecting
to
this
be-
postmodern bullshit
South
to
Park
not
looks
be
like
shit.
fucking South Park.
It's not even that. It's just laziness.
South Park are literally fucking kids. Just they're fucking kids, and there's an episode where Cartman.
Phrasing. Don't say they are fucking kids because it's.
Well, I mean, given the subject matter they're talking about, well.
Yeah, they did have that Nambla episode.
Who hasn't fucked?
Oh yeah, I
Oh
remember.
my
that.
god, Jens. Oh my god, yeah.
That's
Mr.
the page I was talking
It's
about.
like one of the like Soviet Womble's Twitch streams when there was this Austrian guy or something. He wanted to say as smooth as a baby's bottom, but said almost this. Accidentally said as smooth as a baby's asshole. So close and yet so far.
Oh God. Fucked up.
Oh yeah, about Nambla, I am sorry for it happening because it came from my very own province of Canada, Quebec.
Oh yeah, Matt Stone and Trey Parker are apparently cucks now, as if no one saw this coming.
What?
Say it ain't
Yeah.
Why are they cucks this time?
Really?
Or no, or maybe it was just the person writing the article who made them sound that way.
Maybe because I think they were mocking everyone, and just now they decided to not talk about Trump all the time because it would just take all the fucking air.
Speaking of let's take a look
the
at this.
thing where they wouldn't make fun of Trump. I mean, it's like they said, there's not really much more you can do to make him a parody of himself.
Yeah, I remember. Actually remember reading one article where they said that it's not that we don't want to make fun of him. It's just it's taking over the show. We want to get back to doing South Park.
Yeah,
South Park and several
especially the last season, they had a problem because during the election, everyone was expecting Hillary to win. And they prepared a whole story for all of it.
Yeah, they had to rewrite everything.
And then Trump had won, and then but apparently they seem to have recycled. They seem to have recycled some shit, and it's kind of made it worse.
They were originally going to have Mr. Garrison go back to the school, and essentially have to apologize to everybody for being an asshole, and then Trump won, so then they had to rewrite everything and have him, winning the campaign and continuing on with all the
because they got so hyped up in their own fart sniffing that they didn't notice anything else.
Dude, I mean, this is not the first time that they've got hyped up on their own fart sniffing.
They really have foreseen the future with this one because they had the moment when during the debate it's like, okay, Mr. Garrison is becoming honest, and it's like, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, vote for her, and then she just say, my opponent is a liar and he cannot be trusted. And at the end it's like, it's just, oh fuck, why did it have to be her? I'm still fucked.
Have you seen the writers and cast for South Park?
Yeah.
They don't give a. They don't. You can tell these people don't give a shit about anything. Like seriously, these people are not like the political types. Like, to be honest, like I admit, like I think all of us are like living in a bubble where we know a lot more politics, but to the average person, they're just seeing what's ever on fucking TV.
Matt and Trey have always been political. What are you talking about?
Well, they've always done political.
They just have a more libertarian bent rather than liberal.
Very libertarian, yeah. In fact, Trey Parker is actually a registered libertarian.
I don't think they ever took. I don't think they ever really took hard stances on certain topics. It's that they.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I don't agree that. I don't agree that they're not political, but I mean, what they would do is they would take more like soft stances on topics because they feel that there's some kind of. I mean, they feel they actually have kind of the view that I have, which is that there's a some kind of happy medium in between both conservative and liberal ideas, and but the thing is they tend to just kind of like lead the audience to that and then let them make up their own minds.
I mean, for fuck's sake, they literally had a couple of episodes where it's PC culture taking over the world.
Yeah. The one on hate crimes. All right. That one clearly was a political episode that was against hate crime laws. It advocated against them strongly. That's one example.
Well, there was the one that Cartman actually was leading a bunch of Christians down the street, doing Nazi chants because the Passion of the Christ.
That is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, but that's just fun because they're easily led.
Actually, my favorite episode they did.
Yeah, the fact that they're Nazis is immaterial. That's just for shock value.
No, but the fact that none of the Christians recognized that Cartman was a Nazi.
Oh yeah, because they did the same shit as the people yeah.
Yeah, my favorite episode is the one where they parodied, militant atheism and Richard Dawkins with the fucking we.
Oh yeah.
In the name of science.
That was a cool episode.
Oh my science. Science.
And apparently Penn and Teller didn't like that episode because they always thought they were, atheists.
It was just Penn Jillette, but yeah.
Teller doesn't really do it. Teller just smiles and collects his check.
They even said in the when they did the commentary for the episode that the whole or the 2 episodes was that they did it because they read Richard Dawkins' book and the entire thing was just this whiny, like preachy atheist commentary, like, yeah, religion is stupid. Like that's pretty much, but that's pretty much the nail on the head with Richard Dawkins.
He's retarded, or he became retarded, rather.
Pretty much.
No, he's just opinionated. I mean,
no,
I
said retarded.
But he was right, though. I mean,
Richard Dawkins isn't retarded when he's talking about atheism, but I will admit.
Yes, he is. Yes, he fucking is.
Guys, I got to split, but thanks for the invite.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting
you. Everyone subscribe to Loudmouth Reviews.
Okay. Anyway, so
reviews and great commentary.
The article.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not going to do that.
The article.
No, but I will admit, when I read one of his books,
everyone silence Glebs as presenting the article.
Okay, I'm just not going to finish that thought then.
Talk.
All right. Demi Lovato.
Retardation. Dawkins is more retarded when he is going full-blown regressive leftist. Even after regressive left just fucked him over several times, he's still, we should...
yeah,
he's
like
he's a battered house husband.
He just said that when he got on, I forget what show it was, he got on and had the gall to say, Trump only won because of how archaic and outdated the electoral college is and only stupid and uneducated people voted for him. It's like,
well, of course a Brit would say that.
It's because you get enough people listening to you.
The country of Britain with rotten boroughs in its history says this.
It shows that it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you don't follow religion, that you can get high off of whatever your ideology is.
Yeah, that's the entire reason why.
No, but here's the thing I take with Richard. This is the issue I take with Richard Dawkins. He has the gall to say our electoral system is outdated, yet he still has a fucking king as the head of state of his country,
and
who's also the head of the religion in theirs.
In the parliament.
Wait, didn't they?
Queen, but monarchy.
Isn't the monarchy? Hasn't the monarchy been separated from the religion, or is that still going?
From what I heard, the queen is still considered the official head of the religion.
Oh, so technically, but not in practice.
They still have official religion.
Okay, well,
the monarchy doesn't have any power.
Real power, but still.
No, not really. Like they don't really have any real power. They're kind of just there. Like we can't. Like they don't have any religious power either. Like they it's kind of a they are king, they are queen, they are like the royal family, and we can't just boot them off.
I mean, you can, but
they're just
it would take a while. There's
okay.
Sorry.
I was just saying, they're just a tourist attraction, really. I mean, they bring in a lot of money, but they do cost us a lot of money too.
Well, it's also part of your heritage, which shouldn't be dismissed.
But they have an elected clergy in the parliament, and by the way, this is a thing that Dawkins talked a lot about. That this should be abolished. Well, so instead of advising other countries how to run their political system, you should probably,
Oh, I mean, to be fair though, like just because he's saying America's system is antiquated doesn't mean like. He could be saying both, is what I'm saying, I guess.
He doesn't, though. That's the problem.
Oh, he doesn't?
The reason why Electoral College exists. And the reason
he doesn't understand our system and why it works. Because the UK is a small country, and it doesn't have a federal...
not the UK. That's different from Britain.
No, I understand how your system works, more or less. But everything is pretty much up to the Electoral College, which makes me wonder, well, what's the point for the little states?
Well, the Electoral College can't function without the popular vote.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. How it was intended for the states to choose who the president is, not the people.
Yeah,
which makes more sense when you look at
way
how
the primary reason for that being implemented was because there was a concept called the tyranny of the majority, which is essentially you have, I mean, and especially now, uneducated masses just going, for the cult of personality.
Yeah.
And so,
and also
essentially, you had the what certain you have certain states that are weighted states, and that's it decides it in a different way.
Yeah.
If there were
how many?
Let me say it quickly. If the states in the US didn't have as much autonomy, it would be more okay to have the popular vote. But because states they have some degree of autonomy, and that was the reason that it's called the United States of America, because each state is kind of like a different country, but not exactly. So each state has its own constitution, its own set of laws. So that's why something is legal in one state but illegal in another state. And this is why if popular vote was how the president was elected, then, for example, some states that have a lot of a huge amount of population, they would pretty much swing the vote, and other states would not be represented at all. And
it would be numerically impossible for basically non-metropolitan states to ever have any say in an election.
Which is why I say, abolishing the Electoral College is extremely short-sighted, because I can't think of anything else that would destabilize the country even more.
No.
What's the name about the tyranny of the majority? How many people voted for Hitler? Like something like 39 million?
No, but the thing is he got appointed to chancellorcy. He didn't actually win through.
The Nazis were democratically elected, but Hitler was appointed to chancellorship.
Yeah.
After Hindenburg died,
anyway, it's not because 100 million people do something stupid.
That's not what tyranny of the majority. Never mind.
No, it's just tyranny of the majority. It's just it's not because a ton of people do the same stupid things that it ceases to be stupid.
It's not what it.
Anyway.
But my question was, if the massive states is what the vote counts on, and then the small states don't make any difference, then what's the point of the small states voting?
That's the reason the Electoral College exists. That's the reason that you have the House of Congress, or that's the reason why the Houses of Congress you have the House of Representatives and the Senate. The Senate operates every state, no matter how big or small, gets 2 senators. The House of Representatives has a number of representatives per the population of the state. The idea was, before 1956, was that the Senate would be filled with statesmen. They would actually focus on how do I explain this? The House of Representatives is basically majority rule in a sense, because you have and the Senate is supposed to function as basically the adults in the room. They're supposed to be a house of statesmen,
which is why
except after 1956 we changed it so that we can directly elect senators. So now there's no point in having 2 houses of Congress because they're all popular.
No. Well, the thing about the Senate, though, is at the same time, though, it still provides small states with some additional power. Number one, number two,
elected through a popularity contest, thus defeating the point. Initially, senators were appointed by the state legislatures.
Yes, but
and originally only people who own property could vote, which I actually controversially agree with.
Well, no, that makes sense. That means you have a stake in how the country's run.
Well, yeah, but my mom actually pointed this out to me because a lot of the times when we have, like public referendums, is it really fair that somebody who doesn't own property gets to vote on an issue like, oh, well, we're going to increase property taxes, to pay for whatever this project's like?
Well, I mean, why would it have to be necessarily property values,
they
though?
pay taxes for property? No. So
Because you can rent property, but at the same time, like contribute. You have a job, you contribute, and all this other stuff. So I don't think having it just based on property seems a little narrow.
There's stuff that goes along with property. There's an implied and assumed level of responsibility that you should have as someone who owns property.
I mean,
what did I just say?
Assume level of responsibility. I mean, not exact. I mean, I don't see not necessarily is what I'm saying. It's just because you own property doesn't mean you are necessarily responsible. Yes. I don't really agree with that.
But
I think the problem with that idea is that it kind of sorts out people who who would actually have a voice. And it'd be way too easy for people who have more money to have their voices heard.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because the other thing is, like, if you only had people with property values, then, essentially, like, if you want to go back to when we didn't, when unions were getting, like, it was legal just to essentially beat up unions and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of these people didn't own their property. They, like, rented or, like, in some tiny little flat or something. Like, how would they get power?
I haven't looked at the fact whether rental property would have actually counted as owning property in terms of voting.
The thing is that
I don't think it would have.
Doubt it.
In Victorian times, there was a voting system. If you owned land, you were able to vote. If you didn't own land, then you weren't able to vote. So the suffragettes getting the women the vote sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I love that I recently found out. Yeah. It's bullshit because women landowners had the ability to vote.
Yeah,
prior to universal suffrage.
That's why Beatrix Potter, she was able to fucking vote before the vote went to. Now, keep this in mind, the working class people. Working class, not fucking women. Working class, because working class men couldn't fucking vote either.
Because exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty short amount of time before.
Conspiracy. It was a classist. It wasn't sexist. It was classist.
Yes. I think in the United States also there was a woman who voted about 50 years before universal, like, women's suffrage or whatever.
That's what I was talking about. In the United States, it was legal for women landowners to vote prior to universal suffrage.
Yeah, depending on the state.
Exactly.
Suffragettes almost cost the English worker class the fucking vote because of that the King's Horseman stunt. And they also made thousands of people lose their fucking jobs because they basically sabotaged like two fucking companies.
Sounds about right.
They cost thousands of people their jobs.
Okay, Eddie, you wanted to?
Yeah, I think Glebs has something up on the docket.
I want to say, speaking of this idea that only property owners could vote, part of the reason was that back then the government was really small, and most of what government would decide is like property taxes. People who were not property owners, who were just working class, they didn't actually pay any taxes directly, and the state didn't regulate their life almost, pretty much didn't regulate their lives anyway. So
it was a different world.
Yeah, so
true. That makes sense too.
Yeah, allowed to vote because whoever is in charge, it wouldn't concern them anyways. So why would they vote if people who were voted in decided on matters that didn't concern those people? So it was kind of fair, I guess. So
well, that's the definition of fair. If it doesn't affect you, you don't need to worry about it.
So essentially, yeah, there wasn't income tax back in the day. So it's mostly off of property taxes. So.
But yeah, like the whole women never got to vote. Beatrix Potter was able to vote.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid stuff that people. Well, it's propaganda. A lot of times people don't know jack shit about history, or they know this edited version of history.
That's what I love about Ahoy's. Just for a quick aside that reinforces your point. That's what I love about Ahoy's video recently on Polybius, where he discovered that nobody talked about the thing prior to 2000. Even searching all through Usenet, it was a myth that was started in 2000.
Yeah, or very late 90s, or like early 2000s.
There was he didn't actually find anything in the 90s. The only hits he was able to find was in the year 2000.
It's like something. The myth could be like traveling word of mouth, as a lot of myths are.
No, but what I like is that it basically rewrote history unless you really dig into the archives and find that there's nothing there.
Yeah, that's
before Filthy Frank put it up. Everyone thought that Mozart was this perfect being, and this I remember my a music teacher who also did art. This was in college, but I remember he was going on about fucking Mozart. Oh, Mozart this, Mozart that, and it recently found out that Mozart was actually into shit. Like literal shit. Like he
was from Austria, Germany. That makes sense.
Yeah, he actually penned a song called "Lick My Asshole" or something.
Yeah, like and he wrote romantic letters to his cousin
that was common.
That had in detail about smearing shit and all that stuff. And that's just the fucking
what should we call now Eric Mozart? Wash your
that's
according to that, I think
that's literally the evidence we have. Imagine what this guy was doing without this stuff.
No, I think with Mozart, I think that was common humor back in the day. I believe. I need to look into it, but
it could be. It might not be.
Well, that's what I heard at least. I watched a thing on this, and it was sort of the humor of the day, I believe, but I could be wrong.
So we haven't changed that much.
German humor and German profanity revolve around shit all the time. It's there are like
German porn also has a lot of shit in it too. So.
Well, I mean that would also be true.
The linguists say that there are two types of languages when it comes to profanity. Either profanities are mostly about like sexual organs or about defecation. So some languages like fuck.
They're cunning linguists.
Yeah. So
make about drag queens is with superpowers, kick ass, control, outright, delete.
Maybe, but literally the stuff I saw, my mind just went, man, this guy would love scat porn.
Where did Mozart come from?
Is that a judgment you make?
Find the answer.
Baby.
I know the answer.
He was Austrian, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but it's the Teutonic area, so.
Yeah, they still speak German, although they have their own dialect, kind of like Bavaria.
Yeah.
No, but I remember telling my
not
teacher
sound
that,
like a normal German because he's Austrian.
No, that's not true. I went, oh really? Here you go. His face. Oh God.
What is wrong with you? Everyone knows this. Fucking American.
Yeah, I had a
I'm supposed to be one. I forgot.
Yeah, I had a coworker from Austria, and he was just like, we kind of get the wrong end. Everyone thinks, everyone forgets that Hitler was from Austria, but they always think Mozart was from Germany.
Anyways, so there was this article
that we were supposed to talk about
40 minutes ago.
I thought we were done with it.
Article that it doesn't talk about homosexuality, people will die. I really want to dig into it. I haven't actually read it.
Oh, okay, you haven't read it. Yeah, let's
I want to show the viewers.
The German shit porn wasn't doing it for you.
Class.
All right, question. All right.
I've seen enough hentai to know where it's going.
In my ass. Okay.
Anyway, so but yeah, in US, right? Anyways, but the idea is that I usually don't read these articles beforehand because I want to show my viewers my genuine first reaction. Because it's funny when I either go like, "What the actual factual fuck," or stop laughing probably, because it's always funny to see people lose their shit. No relation to the scat porn, losing their shit in metaphorical sense.
On target.
Anyways, so let's take a look at this article. So, for those who forgot what it was about, so this Noah Michelson, this Noah and his arc, he really wants to know about Demi Lovato's sexuality, probably, for
personal issues
or something. I don't know. And she's open about other things, then she should be open about this. It's like, oh yeah, I tell people my phone number, so I should tell them my email password.
Yeah, that's like those assholes. I follow Mercedes Pereira, and it's like those assholes that go like, oh, well, you show your privates on porns because you're a porn star, so that means that you don't have any privacy.
What?
That doesn't make sense.
No, there's literally people out there that thinks that because porn stars have shown their junk and all that shit, they're not allowed privacy.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, they're probably confusing porn stars with exhibitionists, because exhibitionists are the ones who don't have privacy or don't want to have privacy. Anyways, let's take a look at
and
this.
they're the people who should stay private, usually. Let's face it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you don't want to see
let's take a look at this very well-written and very well-reasoned article. I'm sure that the arguments will be amazing and great. Oh, Demi Lovato doesn't want to talk about her sexuality. Well, okay. And I'm really hoping she's willing to interrogate why that is. Interrogate whom?
That's a weird phrase, actually.
This is definitely quality writing here. Jesus.
Interrogator genitals. Like
Yeah,
good pussy bag.
I was going to make the joke that is this a failed a stalker writing under a pseudonym?
Yeah, probably.
Sounds like that.
Maybe that's a writer for Big Mouth.
It's it was on Huffington Post. So
was this on the Queer Voices branch? Because I gotta tell you, that is some high grade cancer over there. I had a friend who, well, I guess ex-friend at this point, prior to the election, that is, who would share this crap all the time, and he was like a Mexican, but he was also gay, and like one time he would like and share all these articles, and one time
at Home Depot.
No, he shared like this one article shortly before the election written by some other gay Latinos, like, if you vote for Trump, then you're voting to oppress me, and then
wonder Jacob wants to be cured.
Then in one of my post-election gloats, I pointed out, if Donald Trump is really this huge threat to gays and other minorities, then why did he do better on the whole with them than pretty much any other Republican in recent history? And then he unfriended me after that.
Yeah,
don't forget, you can't handle the truth, Dick, but whatever.
Trump
this guy's the editor of Huffington Post Queer, by the way. Yeah. He's the editor.
I have to go.
Aw, well, it was nice being on stream with you again.
Yes.
We need a token woman.
Or I can give you my Twitter, Reddit, and
Token
Discord.
or token?
By the way, I've heard that you have a Discord, so join my server.
Yeah, I thought she was already part of it.
Well,
you have a server.
A server. Okay.
I heard you got a Reddit, by the way. I just made a new one for my Miss Steam account. It's brand new, so there is barely anything on it.
People still use Reddit.
I'll send you
everyone was banned. I know.
And then add all of us.
Joke.
I send you a link to my server, on Twitter.
I'm just gonna put the stuff in the
Cool.
I'm just gonna put the stuff in the group chat.
Yeah, might as well no one could see it.
I don't do Twitter.
Anyway.
By the way, I'll post this link to the YouTube chat. So
yeah, because I was gonna say Glebs is currently screen sharing for whatever reason.
Let me just get on my.
For what do you mean? For whatever reason, I'm screen sharing because we're talking about the article.
No, oh wait, no,
Yeah,
that's I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at another guy in here. Never mind.
Yeah, that's me.
My social media links. That isn't my channels, so.
Can't hear me, can you?
No, I can hear you fine.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Nah, but
I'm trying to remember my
see you guys
Discord
later.
login.
Bye.
Anyway, so we lost my Steam, but
All right, Dick's out.
the show must go on.
Do it. Yeah,
Might
this
finish
is
the
about
article.
national security. You know that.
Okay, and okay, but this is Broken Heart Liberals Discord. So posting in the YouTube chat like for the.
Yeah.
So it's funny how the YouTube live streams have 3 chats: the built-in chat, the Google Hangouts chat, and the YouTube chat.
Google, we have no idea what user interface is.
The usability is really not their strong suit.
Maybe because they keep kicking out people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's diversity, schmiversity. Diversity. I mean, if you talk about diversity, then hiring people who are incompetent increases diversity.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
It's homogeneous. So you need to put like really, really retarded people who don't know jack shit about what they're doing to diversify their assets. Anyways, let's take a look at this. But yeah, so it was posted. By the way, this link to this article was posted by this Twitter account HuffPost Queer, which is you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and faggotry.
Even worse than queer stuff for kids.
Yeah, the funny part is that actually the comments there gave me hope because everyone was calling them retarded for this because leftist, rightist, everyone was calling them retarded because just it's not your fucking business who someone else is wants to fuck and how because it's true. Just because someone's a person doesn't mean that they should describe their sexual preferences or any other stuff.
I was about to say, well, ever since homosexuality became more accepting, then these left-wing homosexual elites now feel like they're entitled to claim everyone who's gay under their banner. And it's like, well, sorry, you don't.
Appropriate the shit out of everything.
That's the problem with identity politics. It's
a losing game.
Collectivism is really. It's like, some say,
collectivism is bad, guy. I said collectivism is bad, okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
South Park joke. It's all right.
We got it.
It's funny how, speaking of, it was on Huffington Post this before the election list of reasons why Trump is racist. All of them were shit. One of them was, he's racist because he treats minorities as voting blocks, as opposed to he doesn't treat them as voting blocks in U.S. politics.
That's pretty rich considering the Democratic Party has its own
Isn't that literally the definition of a political party?
Every fucking American vote. There are these fat black women in T-shirts for the Democrats who are hurting homeless people and insane people to vote. They don't even know what they're doing.
Tell me to claim my account even though I already have one.
Well, this is the funny part that there's nothing inherently racist or any other ist about treating specific parts of demographic as blocks, because even in marketing, you are trying to market your, for example, movie, and you know that some demographics are like all black people like the same things, but there are trends for example, some race, some age group, some level of education, they have certain preferences statistically speaking. So it makes sense that if you make a movie that kind of caters to those tastes, then you should probably make the promotional material cater to that group. It's like, for example, there's nothing sexist about promoting your first-person shooter to young adult males, because that's who play this kind of games. So it's not sexist to do that. So they were really, really stretching it in that article. Some of those. There was this one employee at Trump's casino, who did something racist, and then this casino was fined. It's not like Trump was there at the table.
Trump was there. I saw him.
It's not like even Trump doesn't even like screen every single employee. I mean,
no company does.
Yeah, like, there's departments which do that. So if they like, it's like I remember a while back there was this retarded lady who posted some racist shit, and then she was fired, and the company said, "Well, she doesn't represent the views of the company." Of course, she doesn't.
Not anymore.
Or something. Why would janitor represent the views of a company or some like low-level employee?
Because frivolous lawsuits are a thing.
Yeah, but it's kind of should be. Anyways, I'm the one who's derailing the conversation right now. Irony.
Yeah, this is your article. You really wanted to share it. Here you are passing over it.
Okay. During the recent interview, pridesource.com. Well, when I usually am proud of my source code, except when I'm like on tight schedule, so I have to just code it. If it works, it works, and then yeah.
So that's your real job?
So told the pop star, your sexuality has been thoroughly dissected by the internet after you alluded to being open to both gender. Yes.
So why does this article exist then?
Like, it's what people on the internet do. They don't have anything better to do. Just talk about celebrities.
No, but didn't he just answer his own question?
I want to give you the opportunity to speak. The opportunity. I mean, if she wanted to speak about it, she would have a lot of opportunities to do that. I mean, she has a Twitter account, I guess.
She's also she's got to be more popular than these fucking idiots.
Yeah. It's not maybe like 20, 30 years ago, those journalists gave people opportunity to talk. Now everyone has social media, especially those like celebrities. They have thousands and thousands of followers, so they can just go to Twitter and say, "Oh well, by the way, I like taking it up the ass, yay!" Oh, here you know it. Okay, thanks for your attention.
My new song. You can buy it on iTunes, unless it's Taylor Swift.
I guess that's why the media is so fearful of Trump and Twitter, because that's where he can address everyone unfiltered, and they can't, distort.
And
even though they'll try.
I mean, when he tweets something like, I know that
the media is fearful of Trump because he won't capitulate to what they want. Like,
and also,
everybody else is worried about their reputation. So,
well, unlike most of the people they've tried to smear, he's been basically in the media spotlight for what, 30 years?
Yeah, and he became racist, sexist, homophobe, xenophobe.
Well, and everybody likes him because he's taking on the media, because he's basically just saying whatever the fuck he thinks.
Yes, it's funny because
basically, he's telling everyone to go fuck themselves.
It's more than it's more than him being funny. It's the fact that he just doesn't give a fuck, and that that even though he's kind of an asshole, that everyone he's saying is what he actually thinks, because he doesn't, or because some of it resonates with people and some of it doesn't at all.
Well, it's always interesting because what else? Who else would be just tweeting those gifs of Hillary Clinton getting struck by a golf ball and falling down?
That's what Twitter used to be, and it's glorious.
Oh, God, yeah. I love the backlash that Stephen King was getting over that, too.
Like, didn't you just write the end of your book with a bunch of kids fucking an 11-year-old girl? It's like, can you shut up, please?
She was 12.
Oh, so that makes gang rape even better.
That's much better.
Oh, it's one of those great quotes from our live streams.
You're welcome.
That'll go down
the one where I said that.
I think it's funny that everybody's talking about that now. I fucking read that shit years ago.
Oh yeah, everyone knew that was in there.
Yeah, but it's now they have like made a new movie about it. So
yeah, I know.
Being talked about it, but it's not getting traction because Salon is a thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, everybody makes a big deal.
He did put that in his book, so that would make him the author of Fucked Up Minds.
Nobody brought that up. However many years, 10, 20 years ago.
That's because everyone knew Stephen King was shit-faced out of his mind for every book he wrote.
Yeah.
No, it's because it wasn't in popular culture, so nobody gave a shit.
That's true, too.
You know, the best part is he just retweeted today, or tweeted out today, and the thing was like, whatever your opinion on Colin Kaepernick, he's talking about privilege. Like Donald Trump is talking about privilege. I'm just like, all the social justice warriors are gonna flee for the.
It's like you live in Maine, you white fuck.
I know. I've actually driven past his house before, you know. And one time my uncle even saw him leave.
This is
so.
actually the thing that bugs me about people hopping on bandwagons is shit like that, where it's like, oh well, suddenly this is in the forefront, or at the forefront of the mainstream because whatever arbitrary reason, and then everybody suddenly starts getting into it because it's the thing to talk about now, and anybody with any sense had noticed it long ago, but no, we're all going to start talking about it, and we're going to be outraged about it simply because, well, other people are talking about it and outraged about it.
And the other thing is he's also pretty late. Like, this is pretty late in the game because Stephen King, if he's getting into it now.
And where was Stephen King's and she?
Well, I don't think he's writing any books anymore. That's probably why.
Oh no, he's writing books, but the thing is, what he does now is he just goes, I have an idea. I'll put it down on paper, and then I won't give it any thought. And then he just shits out a story or several stories.
So that's it. The only thing really going for him these days is Dark Tower, right?
Anyways, the only reason why he really got that is because they decided to make a movie.
Well, anyways, let's get back to the stupidity, because, well, we should finish it before we finish the live stream. Anyway, so yeah, give you opportunity to speak on it directly as you'd like. Well, thanks for this opportunity. Otter replied, thank you for the... Oh, yes. I predicted what... I actually haven't read this article before, so I'm great predictor. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going to pass. And this is... triggered! How dare you? When the party questioned while Walter, who has long been a vocal LGBTQ advocate, wouldn't speak openly about sexuality, well, it's like non sequitur. I'm a vocal advocate for this group, so it means that I should talk about who I fucking. Where's the logical connection?
I think they're trying to go with that. For the longest time, if you were gay, it was very taboo to talk about your sexuality, and then now you made it more open. So it would be like, for somebody who's advocating for people to be more open, then like, why aren't you more open about it yourself?
That's the funny thing. It's not necessarily about being more open. It's about having the confidence to reveal what you've always wanted to reveal, not revealing everything about yourself.
I know. I was about to say the counter to that. Well, it's helping somebody else, try to feel a bit more comfortable talking about, themselves. Just because you don't necessarily feel like you have to or want to doesn't mean, somebody else shouldn't,
It's for people who want to speak but don't have a voice, not people who want to shut the fuck up.
I was just thinking, this is sort of this is very much the collectivist thing. Is like the thinking here probably is, if you said your sexuality, then therefore for the greater good of people, then therefore other people would have the confidence to do it, and it's just like.
But you don't need to say what you are to do that.
Like they can do what they want.
Well, I mean, this Chris, as a party, worked for PrideSource.com, which is probably not...
Dude, I don't even buy this shit anymore, where it's like, you need people to come out so other people are okay with coming out. Like, the only time you see that, really, or if you have these, fundamentalist jackasses, usually from the South or some shit, and, even then, it's not all that common. And, like the thing is now, if you don't support that, a lot of times, if you're not kissing their asses, then people think you're a piece of shit, and and will try to ruin your life for it.
Well, yeah,
it's not necessary anymore.
But anyway,
back then, I mean, when the whole gay marriage thing was going on, for some people it's enough to say, I don't support gay marriage, but I wouldn't outlaw it. But then, as it got more on, even it's like, well, even if you even if you weren't personally in favor of gay marriage, but you still went outlaw, that wasn't good enough anymore. It's like, well, fuck you. You're not entitled to, anything more than that.
Yeah. Because basically what they want is they want everybody to be like literally out on the streets, and you have to advocate for it. I mean, because it's just like the articles where it's like, oh, you need to be outside in campus as a male stopping rapes or something. Like you have to do.
Yeah, like
there's no rapes going
when
on.
The Amazing Atheist did it well when he said
you had
they're
to
not looking for
tolerate
every
people. Or you had to not only tolerate people, but you had to
solution.
openly accept them. It was essentially saying, no, it's not good enough that you just don't really like, actively
suppress,
go against them. It's now you have to be
suppress?
actively for them, and it's
I mean,
basically if you
for them, you have to be militantly opposed to anybody who is not actively for them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That is what they say. You should be more than accepting to them, and that's the thing. You shouldn't. The only thing you shouldn't be able to do is infringe on their rights. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not good enough. You have to advocate for them, and then they're entitled for you to think positively of them. It's like, well, no, you're not. Sorry if you don't like it. Sorry if that makes us bigoted, but you're not entitled to how people think about you.
Well, these people don't believe in America, so why would they believe in fundamental ideas like personal freedom?
Yeah, I personally believe if somebody wants to be trans, non-binary, bullshit, non-gender, whatever, that's on them. They have the right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What they do not have the right to do is to demand anybody else call them, he, Z, zer, purple, whatever the fuck now.
I mean, they have the right to demand it, but we have the right to refuse.
No, they don't
So
even
that's
have
not
the
really
right
a
to
right.
demand it. They have the right to tell you that they want that, but
Yes,
they ain't
yeah,
got the right to demand a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Carry on, Glebs.
Anyways, but about this journalist, Christopher, what all you need to know about his journalism, it's called About Me in the first person, but the text is in third person.
a lot of I've noticed that a lot, like years ago. It's weird.
It is could say about Chris. Be consistent. It's already cringe-worthy.
They want to pretend that someone else is writing it.
Yeah, it's already cringe-worthy when people talk about themselves in third person. But when
it's a thing because like a lot of dust cover blurbs are written by other people, so they want to pretend like they have that level of prestige, like they're actually being published on a real book.
Yeah, but at least it should write about me, like about Chris or something. Anyways.
Or the author, yeah.
Well, let's see what she said about why she didn't. First of all, there shouldn't be even the question, why don't you disclose personal details that you don't want to disclose? Because I don't want.
Why don't you sleep with me, Demi? I mean,
yeah. Well, I
That's
just
a
feel
level
like
we're talking
everyone's always looking for a headline, and they always want their magazine or TV show or whatever to be the one to break what bisexuality. Well, it's true. I don't know anything about her, but she seems reasonable, at least from those quotes. Unlike a lot of celebrities. Okay. I feel like it's relevant to what my music is about. Yeah, it's true. I mean, I stand up for the things that I believe in and the things that I'm passionate about, but I like to keep my personal life as private as possible when it comes to dating and sexuality, blah, 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 just because it has nothing to do with, well, it's pretty reasonable. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we live in a world where everyone is... Yeah, well, she actually sounds unreasonably reasonable for a celebrity.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I forget what interview it was. Like, it wasn't like an interview; it was more like one of those documentary film things. And it was Lady Gaga, and she's completely different from her quote private interviews. It's like, wow, I could actually be friends with this person. And she was talking about like Madonna is the weirdest. Like, she's actually kind of scared of me. It's bizarre.
Who?
Lady Gaga. I saw it. No, I swear to God, she didn't have any makeup on or anything. She looked like she was smoking pot, just talking to her friend. It was like amazing.
She actually has a pretty diverse taste in music too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, yeah. So let's see what kind of stupid shit they will respond to this.
I mentioned that because there are a lot of like artists and public figures who are completely different in private life. It's for a reason.
Yeah. This is where it gets. So it's like this kind of makes sense before this but. There should be no but after this. So oh yeah. I can only begin to imagine how daunting it must be to have strangers constantly scanning for whatever juicy personal but. There should be no but after that. Yeah, I think it really sucks when some retards want to just really dig into your personal life, even when you don't want to talk about it. There should be no but after that. Still, I'm respectfully going to call bullshit on Lavato's aunt. Respectfully, quote unquote. Let's start with blah blah blah, which plays in the fantasy sexual. So it's a song which plays out the fantasy of a sexually explicit woman-on-woman flirtation. Are they saying that all songs are like autobiographic? Because there are some like songs about. According to
in that case, that just confirms what we've always suspected about Sweet Caroline. Oh God!
By this standard, Alice Cooper is a transvestite because of this song called.
Wait,
Jessica.
you didn't know that?
Well, I mean, it's a guy whose name is Alice.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, but yeah, the song is
out of the bag now, Alice.
What were the lyrics? Basically, it was about a guy who was driving. He was wearing his sister's wedding dress and went to a gas station and yeah. Anyways,
or as known in California, Monday.
Like if you take some songs, not all songs are autobiographic, especially like like black metal about sacrifices to the devil or something.
But that is autobiographical.
But most of them probably don't. I'm saying most of those who sing about sacrifice, human sacrifice to Satan.
They're like vegans and shit. They're really boring. Not all of them, but most.
Well, okay. Anyways, yeah. So it's a song about how plays a fantasy. Yeah. Okay. So with not so subtle lyrics about biting chairs and being taken. Yet a song, and when asked about whether or not the song was about Lovato, Chico told him, "I'm not." Well, of course it is, but just because the song is about something doesn't mean it's because a lot of those
doesn't mean it's advocating for it.
Stage persona.
Oh, so basically, this guy's just he's calling. He's like calling for anything.
Yeah, like, so what's the point of this freaking rant again?
He really wants to get laid.
Stalker who wanted some Hispanic pussy and was mad, so he couldn't get any, so he's using the internet.
So basically, this is.
I thought Demi Lovato was Italian.
No, I thought that for the longest time too. She isn't.
Thing.
Because I knew Selena Gomez was
here right now.
Oh, this is getting retarded already here. So on one hand, she doesn't want to answer directly, but on the other hand, she said that her music is from her personal experiences. Well, she said that just I don't want to talk about this. Just maybe she's saying, "Go listen to my music and make your own conclusions."
I mean, here's the thing. Instead, it's fine if she didn't want to answer the question, but why didn't she just go? I'm not talking about this, and then just leave it at that. Why did.
Well, she did.
We only have his word to go on. That's the problem.
She did. She actually said that she's not wanting to talk about that. Well, her song is about.
No, but the point I'm getting at is that instead of going into a paragraph of details, why not just? Because I don't feel like talking about it.
It would probably be that. It would probably be considered rude.
She could just say something like, though, I respectfully do not want to discuss this issue.
Well, that's exactly what she said, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would be
in other words, yeah.
So, actually, this is a really good response. Much better than the typical celebrity when they start saying
she spoke in a paragraph because she didn't want it to be ambiguous, even though the writer doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Whatever you say, you will
rarely
still misinterpret it deliberately.
Because he could have, she could have easily said, "Does it concern you? No, fuck off."
Yeah, but that's too blunt in Hollywood bubble speak.
I mean, apparently you've never heard about Chuck Berry doing interviews.
Well, that was a different time. Unfortunately,
no, it was not. This was like less than 10 years ago.
Wait, Chuck Berry lived that long?
Yeah, apparently. Is he like still alive? Because
I would be one of the bluntest people if I was in Hollywood right now.
You know, I remember hearing when Merle Haggard died. It's like, oh, I thought he'd been dead for years already.
Yeah, he died this year.
I know. Yeah.
Why did I not remember? Oh, that's weird. Anyway.
Yeah, well,
but yeah, it was like they did a what do you call it in Rolling Stone with him, and he's been notorious for being one of those guys who either he gets pissed and says something to them and like insults them and leaves, or he just gets up and leaves. I mean,
so he pulled a Harlan Ellison, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And then I was shocked the other day when I learned that Alan Combs died earlier this year. Because I was talking to my mom, we were watching the news. I'm like, hey, I wonder where Alan Combs is, and she's like, oh, he's dead. I'm like,
he's
really?
in the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
so let's see what this genius who wrote this article has to say. So basically, this paragraph is, well, she doesn't say it directly, but her lyrics hint at there's like being bi-curious or something. Well, maybe if there's hints, so maybe she doesn't want to say it directly, but provide enough hints for eagle-eyed viewers to.
That's a kind of sensitive subject.
Yeah, and also
either that or the hint she leaves might be how she sorts out who the psycho stalkers are, because if you get an interview and ask her about it, you're a fucking sicko.
Yep.
And also, the reason people sometimes not say something directly but use hints is to keep some plausible deniability.
Oh yeah, that was the thing I forgot to mention.
I've deduced that you're left-handed. You like your coffee black and your steak medium rare.
No, I like my steak with an autoerotic asphyxiation belt around my neck.
Well, you like everything if you're ambidextrous.
No, I like my steaks with a vampire around them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means what I think it means. Let's not.
What?
I think I know what it means, but I don't want this to mean what I think it means. Anyways,
I kind of went into that blind, so.
Huh? Like this is. Huh? Yeah. The only way that I can make sense of any of this is that Lotta only wants to keep her sexuality private, not her love. And this is bad because.
Oh my fucking god! Go fuck yourself.
That's a problem. No, that's not a problem.
Go fuck yourself. God damn it.
Problem. Seriously. First of all, where
I'm gonna go on a theory here. That guy wants to write fan fiction of her with him, and he wants confirmation that she's into guys.
Also,
I get a lock here.
Where does he get this idea that she wants to openly tell who is dating? It's not openly telling; it's hinting. So hints can be.
I mean, the other thing is also like who people are dating and stuff like that is out in the open because there's so many fucking photographers. I mean, like it's just go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, what an entitled cunt this fucking author is.
All right, continue. Fuck.
Okay. The whole of Kyrgyzstan need to just we've gone too far.
Yeah. So basically, let's see why this is a problem. Yeah. Lotta has been courageously open and honest about other parts of her life. Yes, and that many might consider off limits. Well, just some people consider different people consider different things off limits. It's like not everyone is thinks identically. People are different.
I mean, yeah, just because some people on Salon want to be open about their pedophilia doesn't mean everyone else has to be open about, what type of people they're into.
I
mean,
just
geez.
because she's open about her mental health and struggles with substance abuse, then she also should be open about her sexuality, because logic. Where's the link?
She's non-sexual, as in business.
None of ya.
Yeah. Why is she drawing the line at her sexual experience or sexual orientation? Because she fucking is. Get wrecked.
Which has helped destigmatize these issues and allowed others to feel less alone in the world. Okay, it's good, but
there we go.
It doesn't have to do this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the collective wants you, needs you to be open about this shit.
It's like, no, fuck off.
God damn.
So if she feels comfortable talking about all those potential sensitive topics, why is she drawing the line? Well, because sexual orientation is different from mental health and struggles with substance abuse. Duh.
Yeah.
If you're open about your...
You can see the effect of substance abuse anyway, and you saw that, what's her name?
And it's not like she's going to give, even the stuff she is more open now, it's not like she's going to give every single detail about it either.
It's like, you're comfortable with sticking your finger up your nose, so you should be comfortable with sticking your finger up your asshole. Logic. I'd argue that...
Well, it's just another orifice. It's like, no.
Oh,
that actually kind of is, like, I noticed that whenever it is that they want to try to push an agenda, it's just another orifice, like that mental gymnastics, just right there.
Well, this reminds me of this episode of Family Guy where like those teenagers were fucking in the ear. Once you go deaf.
Back when Family Guy used to be good.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Okay, so...
Yeah, no, the Love Live Rickistan. Oh my god, I would just New Kikistan and no, just like New Rick and Morty. That's it.
Oh, I talked about she needs to reevaluate exactly what she's hiding and why. Oh, this really doesn't sound good, especially after she's released. It's a fucking song. Fucking retard.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
The only reason that people don't want to reveal their orientation is because they're ashamed of it. Not the only reason. It's like,
man, this guy is so... The lens is so firmly glued onto his fucking eye, man.
I'm not ashamed of my email password, but I'm not comfortable sharing it with everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unless you're John Podesta, who makes the password.
Oh, yeah. Because only Russian hackers could guess that password is password.
Yep.
Think about it. How many straight people refuse to say that they're straight? Well, quite, I don't know. Some of them.
Actually, when I was 13, I actually was not very comfortable with my own heterosexuality, so I tried to be asexual. So yeah, it's not like it's exclusively like that.
It's easy. It's easy in your teens. It's quite easy to be asexual. You just don't get any sex.
I can help with that.
You just have to be minimally a weirdo, and you're not gonna get any sex whatsoever.
Yeah, you could pretend you have full blown Asperger's.
And also,
you gotta be a special kind of cock block yourself.
My friend, of course, we say this like, oh yeah, my friend has Asperger.
Also, let's not forget that a celebrity, maybe some people don't want to. Oh, I'm bi because they don't want some people. Oh, whoa! It means that you might actually want to sleep with me. Well, just because you are technically within my dating pool doesn't mean that you in particular are good enough.
Yeah, maybe if she came out as bi or pansexual, she wouldn't want all these fucking freaks running up to her and like, oh, hey, let's go out, let's get coffee or have a date or whatever.
Will you fuck me and my girlfriend?
Yeah. So, anyways, also, I know that some people really don't want to disclose that they're bisexual because they really don't like the like, LGBT crowd. It's like, you know, this YouTuber Regs.
Yeah, I mean, I have a gay friend who doesn't like the communities, put it that way. And plus, there's like people who are technically bisexual, but they mostly lean one direction or the other, so they don't really want to.
Yeah.
Give
But
people.
when it comes to Regs, he actually gave enough hints in his videos. Also, his regular viewers pretty much knew that he was bisexual because, well, he often talked about, his ex-girlfriends, and in some videos he said that he used to have a boyfriend. So, if you've watched the videos where he said that thing and another thing, well, you can put 2 + 2 together, and so yeah. But he didn't explicitly state it. He only stated explicitly recently on Twitter when he said that the reason he didn't want to state explicitly because, first of all, it has it's not something that is important or relevant, and also because this LGBT community is so toxic and so full of SJWs, and obviously he doesn't like SJWs. So
right.
He's ashamed.
Yeah, my gay friend tells me most of the community is just filled with drama whores. So
yeah,
I'm not going to question that.
But it's like if Regs was ashamed of that, he wouldn't tell the story about his ex-boyfriend, right? So it's not
right.
Shame. It's so yeah, the only reason. It's not the only reason. There are different reasons. Okay, so likewise, queer sexuality shouldn't be
The fuck?
Queer sexuality shouldn't be private.
Says who?
Wait, hold on. You know, the thing is this is really interesting because this kind of jives with the whole, like, because a lot of these people are like, communist kind of types or whatever. And it's a complete surveillance state. So this is really interesting that it just jives with all of this. Like, there's no hiccups to this.
Queer sexuality shouldn't be private. They said the same thing about Peter Thiel.
I think most sexuality should be private. I mean, nobody really cares who you like to share the bed with. I mean, yeah, maybe there's some people who do, but just because I don't care doesn't mean I have to know.
It's like, well, okay, I get when some people say, I'm proud to be like LGBT, then they are not exactly, it's not private because when you say that you are proud of your sexuality, then it's not something you keep private. Because if you
I'm proud to be a privileged white male.
But it's kind of
same.
This is stupid. Fuck.
The other thing is that's really boring. It's like, okay, so you're LGBTQ or whatever, okay, and there's like 3% of the other population. Great.
Oh,
who cares?
Oh, okay. Your audio was cut out for a bit. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, like basically, is it better?
Yeah. No, it's.
Huh. Well, basically, what I'm saying is like there's a whole bunch of other people that are LGBT. Well, cares what your sexuality is. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. And how to a member of the queer community or as an ally certainly appears to be proud. Appears to be. Oh, we lost.
Well, yeah, he said he was restarting.
Okay. No, she's head. So appears to be proud. If you are an ally, proud of being. If you're an ally, it means that you are not one of like LGBT. So if you're not one of them, so you are not proud to be one of them, right? You cannot be proud of being something you are not, because that's kind of contradictory, right? So already this sentence makes no sense. She's headlined several Pride festivals. Well, I don't think that they necessarily require you to be a part of this group to actually headline this festival, especially if you are like a singer and festivals. I think that headlining a festival requires you to be like a singer or something. Or it's received the GLAAD Vanguard Award. Okay, and even filmed her real video at the LA Pride. And so why all the secrecy? Where's the logic? No, serious, where's the logic?
No, so at what point does it dawn on him that it's not anyone else's business except hers?
Why the need to keep her sexuality hidden? Well, because
why do you need to know who she likes and doesn't like?
I think this article will explain why they need to know, and is going to be retarded because
yes,
it's having
I mean, he already kind of did though. Like he did by saying, like it's gonna help other people, whatever. Like the collective needs you to. That's basically it.
Well, the collective aren't entitled to her support. I mean, I know they're going to call it. I mean, I know I'm a Nazi for saying that, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So okay. What's more, fear that conversation will be reduced to a mere soundbite is unfounded. Really? Her
It
fear
is a
that
fucking soundbite.
it only has the potential to become a soundbite if she approaches her identity as what? First of all, what did you say about this? She said that her fear is that it's like just retards who want to sell their either get traffic or sell their shitty those magazines will just use it to promote. That's what she said.
Yeah, people could view it as like publicity, like when Shane Dawson came out as bisexual. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's bi!" Then I remember the Amazing Atheist made a video, making fun of him for that, even though he's bisexual himself.
Who's Shane Dawson? The name kind of rings a bell, but
he was like one of those content creators. I never watched any of his shit, but he was kind of in the same vein as, I don't know, maybe like Smosh or Boxy, one of those, or Catherine Wayne, I should say. He was one of those.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch that guy at all.
Well, neither do I. I just know about him.
Anyways, let's see.
I didn't know about him either.
Okay, anyways, yeah, but so let's where was it? Think about
let's see if I could find a relevant link.
Yeah. So, by giving Lavata the opportunity to address her sexuality in whatever way she wanted to, well, the way she wanted to is not at all. It's like these people don't take no for an answer, I'm not saying.
But then they'll be the first ones to go on about consent issues.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, no, not anymore. Not anymore, because remember, if you don't sleep with a trans person, you're transphobic.
The party was allowing her, how noble of him, to control the narrative. How it's not controlling the narrative. Like, these retards will just twist your words anyways. Like this retard is doing. Look, the level of self-awareness, David Shrett level of self-awareness.
Oh, he's going to be our favorite punching bag, isn't he?
Well, he already is. So easy. I don't even have to look at the comment section of this piece to know what there are probably already angry folks.
Can you hear me?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of guessing,
hear someone.
Check it.
All right.
Hold on. He has the self-awareness, and he still doesn't care. Go fuck off.
That's what stalkers do. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, he's like a reporter anyway, so like that's like one step away. Anyway,
because they've never actually been arrested for stalking people they're supposed to cover before, like literally stalking them.
Ugh. I was actually surprised. I searched this guy's Twitter, and Demi Lovato only came up once. I was expecting like a whole bunch of stuff on her or something.
Or maybe he's just that stupid. He comes off as a stalker.
So, anyways,
Shane Dawson, oh god.
Well, yeah, we were mentioning how it became publicity when he mentioned his gay, and then these two were like, "Well, who the fuck is Shane Dawson?" I'm like, "Well, here he is."
I completely forgot.
Yeah, I looked him up on Google.
And sad, mostly funny.
So instead of checking if the comment section is full of angry people, he just I guess there are. I don't want to check the facts. I just assume because reasons. And folk telling me that I'm bullying Lovato and that someone's sexuality is no one else's business. Well, if he knows that this is no one else's business, and like he knows he's full of shit, but still decides to. Or asking who cares. Well,
that's the proper response.
Or why does it matter? So you don't even need to tell him he's full of shit. He knows that he's full of shit. But it does.
Oh,
matter.
here we go.
Oh, the voices in your head tell you you're full of shit. It's time to quit.
Just a few days ago, a judge in Brazil made a proved conversion to therapy. Well, it's in Brazil. What does it have to do with her?
Oh yeah, because Demi Lovato being more open about her sexuality would have prevented all of this. If only she just was more open, all this would have.
Also, I know she's not Brazilian.
Barack Obama became the 20th transgender person killed in America this year. Well, how many non-transgender people were killed this year in America?
And what does that have to do with Demi Lovato?
Yeah, and also there are like 200 million people in America. Of course, some of them will.
Demi Lovato's secretly a transgender serial killer. You didn't see all the evidence they presented.
You know, and the other thing is also.
Oh,
the other thing is also like, okay, so somebody killed a transgender person. Let's just assume that all 20 of these people were killed because they were transgender. Do you really fucking think that they care about Demi Lovato's fucking sexuality?
Did you just like these people would have looked up to her more if she did? Like
she would have prevented to her more. She would have gone back in time.
It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, Demi Lovato is bi, so therefore, I'm totally not gonna kill this transgendered person because I hate transgendered people. I'll stop. I'm totally gonna change my fucking mind. Like,
or they're gonna magically develop the power to stop the killer from killing them.
Oh God, it's gonna be Minority Report.
They really would love it to be that way, wouldn't they?
But this is great.
Yeah, actually, they would.
So
they really fucking would.
This is the Supreme Court should find in favor of Baker that wants to refuse surface.
It's like, because that's their freaking right, you dunce turd.
There was a YouTube poop, which is relevant.
They're not a public service run by the government or subcontracted by the government.
It's a private business. They have the right to be with whoever they. Right to serve whoever they want. Kind of like
the fact that, if you were going to go and you're going to force a Christian bakery to bake a gay wedding cake, that means that you actually can force a gay bakery to make an anti-gay wedding cake.
Yeah, I was about to say, should a gay baker be forced to make a cake for the Pray the Gay Away ceremony?
Or even force a Muslim bakery to make a Muhammad cake.
Then you'll get a,
no, because that would be oppressing.
That would be a provocation.
The thing is, I'm actually a little on the fence about the gay cake thing because, for me, half of me the libertarian side wants to just say
American values.
Wants me to just say fuck it, let the Christian bakery lose business or whatever. But at the same time,
the gay side of you want to say, hey, yeah, let's take it up to him.
The other part of me is sort of I'm thinking of sort of more like not so much the gay cakes, but if you need a gas station and the gas station is the only one for 50 fucking miles, something along those lines, those more extreme issues. I'm there's more extreme cases.
The gas stations be able to do that. They would have to be able to sit there and show hardcore evidence stating that these people made it clear that they were filling up their tank to go to a gay wedding ceremony, and I cannot participate. I mean, seriously.
I'm not saying because people they'll have proud LGBT proud sticker or whatever, some shit or whatever. But the point is that's in those extreme cases that makes me hesitate a little. But on the other hand, if it's in a city, I don't care.
Well, we could probably modify it so you would still have to provide essential services. I mean, getting a gay wedding cake is not an essential service.
Well, if it's a public utility, you have to do it regardless, I believe.
Again, Smith is not really is being a bit stupid. Again,
has the right to refuse to do business with whoever they damn well please for whatever reason they damn well please. You know, I may not like their reasons for it.
Check this out. Check this out.
Money, make it fake, no.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it's like Dusty Smith. I sent him the Rickistan, and I asked him, "Is Rick and Morty Nazis now? You're not making Kyrgyzstan better.
No,
you're
Rick
just
and
making Rick
Morty
and
is
Morty
just terrible.
worse."
Yeah, I
Just-
notice you're now making Dusty your newest punching bag opposed to shit rat. So,
Well, it's the most used piece
the
of
one of the hour. And I'm not making a case for Kyrgyzstan. I'm making a case for your reasoning is shit.
Don't indulge in Sargon's autism, please. Nothing.
What?
he said, "Don't insult Sargon's autism."
No, I said don't indulge in Sargon's autism. Kyrgyzstan.
It's fine.
I'm making a Kyrgyzstani uniform.
Donald Trump moved to ban transgender people from the US military, all because the singer doesn't want to talk about her sexuality. Obviously.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Jesus
how the article goes.
Christ.
The bottom line is that we don't live in a post-queer world. Yeah, it's not post-queer.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like unless we kill them all, it's not going to
So
be
does that mean
post-queer.
that heterosexuality is now the norm again?
Oh my
Wait,
the post
this is where it gets retarded.
world.
Check this out.
Best.
We are not done
writing
fighting for
ever.
our rights, and in many cases, our lives. So, not talking about sexuality means that people will die.
Quite literally.
We are not done fighting for our rights, and in many cases, our lives. So you want to fight for your lives by joining the military and get shot at. Got it.
I mean, are there like roving gangs of people going around and killing gay people on the spot? I mean, I don't think so.
You want to join? You want
I
to?
mean, I actually had to stop going to the meetings because it was cutting into my video game time.
Oh, this is fucking. Oh, this is painful to read. This is so retarded.
No. See, the thing is, this is sort of
You knew.
This is the cultural Marxist thing. Is like literally, we need to promote like non-heterosexual stuff because heterosexuals are oppressive. Like that is this shit.
By any means
That's why they promote, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one thing to be tolerant of homosexuality, miscegenation, and all this other stuff. But no, they they weaponize it to an extent,
Yes.
which I think is more shameful. So,
well, it's insidious, and
so if Demi Lovato comes out, then there will be nobody would kill queer people anymore. I guess. Fucking hell, this is such a stretch, and there's no reason to be coy about it. Oh yeah, well, there are a lot of reasons.
Isn't this basically just one giant article? And isn't this basically sexual harassment disguising itself as an article?
no. This is several paragraphs of just some.
No. This is
pissing and whining.
like the definition of sexual harassment, isn't it?
Oh, by the way,
No, I don't think so.
I'm a big fan of Demi Lovato. Yeah, stalker confirmed.
Oh, so I was right. Circle gets the
Oh.
square. In the most depressing game of Hollywood squares ever.
No. The other thing is also go back up to the it's nothing to be ashamed about for being straight. How much do you want to bet that Huffington Post Queer has like a whole litany of articles bashing straight people?
Yeah, they're like I remember they were sharing that one article
I
by
think
that.
we covered a bunch of them on stream.
Yeah, well, like that one article that was being shared around. It's like, I was talking about like that strange obsession with this one, I don't know, lesbian Jew who was like, we need to discuss about why straight white dudes are having sex with each other. It's like, is that really a thing?
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Oh, that's called gay.
Yeah, giving a bro job is nothing to be ashamed of.
Hey,
maybe
it's
they were
not
trying
gay
to
unless
make
the
it a
balls
thing,
touch
like make
and you make eye
straight
contact.
people-
I thought everyone knew that.
It's not gay if you do a high five in the middle of it.
Oh, this is retarded. But the longer she refuses to talk about this one specific aspect of who she is, while continually telling the queer community that we should be proud of who we are, as soon as counting us to blah, 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 the less I'm inclined to want her support or to support. Well, go fuck yourself then. I don't think she'll be broke just because this one talker retard won't buy her shit anymore. I don't think that one person is really.
Yeah, you're right. You don't have to buy her shit, and she doesn't. It's not like you're gonna miss.
The other thing is also, it seems like if you go, I linked the her response and stuff like that, and it looks like she's standing pretty firm on this, and it's just like good for you because fuck these people.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, that's
something feisty Latina something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far I'm pretty impressed with her responses because unlike a lot of, I know it's a sad state of affairs when we should compliment celebrities.
Well, this is also, now that I'm remembering, this is also someone who went public about cutting herself constantly and not for a long ass time. So if she wanted to be public about something important to her, she has. So
she's not afraid. Yeah, she's not afraid of doing it. She just doesn't fucking want to.
Yeah,
which I thought was the whole point of freedom of expression, including choosing not to. Isn't that also a form of expression?
The collective, man. The collective.
I know.
Fucking collective.
Dick.
The collective.
Could suck its own cock.
Yeah, that's the articles. Oh, so yeah, I think we're just a good enough time to just end this.
Lesser known sexual and romantic identities, aka Tumblr hallucinations.
Shit we made up on the spot.
Oh yeah, I said that, didn't I?
Going to be. Well, anyways, I think it's we don't have viewers anymore because this retarded article scared everyone away. So I think it's as good time.
Oh, I think those were all gay viewers.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up for today. Thanks for joining.
Already.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. No one who's here, unless you're watching this afterwards.
Some people actually watch this.
Oh yeah, I usually watch it afterward.
So
yeah, I'll put it on when I'm listening to some
good stuff to just listen in the background.
Yeah.
And as the world didn't end, sadly, so maybe next time.
Sadly, the next time.
You know, you
stay problematic.
Laters.
See you.
It was
Bye.
my
Ooh.